Hey guys, how you all doing? I hope the connection is right though. Always here. Hello. Sorry guys, I'm late. I need to make sure it's on. Who's here? Hi. Hi Angel, how are you? I know I went MI on you guys on the live stream. Yeah, you're welcome, sis. How you guys doing? Hey girl. Hey Kala. How are you, girl? How are you? What's popping? Hey, Rex. How you all guys doing? What's happening? How was your week? How have you guys been so far? Hey. I'm trying to get the link. Hold on. Okay. Oh no. No, that's not it. What's happening? How are you guys? I'm trying to get the link so that you guys can join in. Mm, um, no, that's not it. I think it's in comments. Sorry. Hey, Tiffany. What's up? How are you? Hi, Angel. Hi, it's Ellie today. I guess it's getting hot. You guys are preparing for summer. But I'm trying. I'm trying, guys. No, not comments. Uh, hey, girl. Simple EL. What's up, sis? How body now? It's in the soap. I'm trying to get. What the? Can you guys see me? Oh, look. What did I do now? Oh, Lord. Destiny. I was gone for 2 weeks now. I'm struggling. struggling to find the link. How? How is that? How are you guys preparing for summer? Hey, somebody help me. How how do I get the link? I found it. I found it. I found it. Finally. Hey, Stormin, how are you? Hi, Pam. What's up? So nice to have you guys here. All the gist that's been happening this past 2 weeks. And first, before I continue, I just want to apologize to you guys that I missed out 2 weeks. That's because life, life was lifing your girl. So it was really hard for me to be able to meet up and be on live. Hi, Mario. How are you? So hi, Mohit. It was really hard for me to come and do live. Like it was not possible. Is it that I was doing it in traffic and then I'm distracted and all that. Hi, AB, how are you? So that was why, and I do apologize. Okay, but I'll let you guys know moving forward whenever because sometimes it can be crazy. Life can be crazy, but yeah. We're here to discuss some of the spicy gist we talked about this week so far. But any of the videos we've talked or any thoughts you have, you can come share it on. But one talk about the Nara Smith and Onezwa situation. Did you guys see that news? And what do you guys think about it? You can click on the link I just shared now, and you can be a guest on this live chat, which I'm super excited to have you guys. Like it's always amazing having you guys chatting is amazing here. So yeah, the Nazawa and Narsmi situation. What are your thoughts? Because I feel like the internet is split on this story because some people are saying that they don't see the similarities. Some people are saying that definitely Nara Smith is stealing from Onezawa. Why some people are saying that Onezawa is just lying about it. So I like to know what you guys think. What are your thoughts on this? And you can come join the live here on this channel. We're no stranger. We're a family here. So you just click on the link, which I'll share one more time, and you can come join the live. And I really want to meet you guys. Like, I know Simple now. Simple, that's my girl. That's my girl. Um, so I know some of you guys now, so don't want to be a stranger. Come on. Angel too, I know Angel. AD is not here today. Yeah. So we do this every Saturday night here in Nigeria. Happy to see you after 2 years. Hey Mohit, I don't know who is this. I don't know who that is though. But I guess somebody that knows me knows me. Somebody that knows me. Definitely. So yeah. Hey girl. I was flying through your YouTube channel the other day. I'm like, hey. Anyway, what are your thoughts on the Onezwa situation? Let me pull out what we're talking about here today. What are your thoughts? You can click the link and join in the conversation. But yeah, my thought. Or you can just, if you're too shy, you can come on and don't make your camera visible so we can just hear your voice. Or you can just continue with the conversation in the comment section. But I really want to meet you guys. The taste is so bad. For the past 2 weeks, I've not had time for anything. Yes, Gary, you're creating amazing content and keep it up. So yeah, there was a video I did of insecure women are inconvenient, and this is something we've always talked about here on this live. I feel like at the last point now, this is like an item here on this on in our community talking about how men can sense when a woman gets it together. Please, can you guys let me know if my visuals is okay and if my audio is okay? Please let me know, please. So I totally agree with that statement talking about how when a woman is insecure, a woman becomes inconvenient because I feel like what what just happened now? My phone just slept on me. Hey, what's going on today? Hey, okay, you know what? Let me go to my page and see. Guys, let me know if you guys can hear me loud and clear. Hmm. So I agree with the saying that says that when a woman is confident, she becomes. Thank you, Amber. When a woman becomes confident or insecure, it makes a lot of men think like we're inconvenienced, and I 100% agree with that statement because they can sense it that we stand 10 toes. We're going to hold them accountable for their actions, so they are going to definitely um, they're going to just definitely know. They know a man knows a woman that is going to hold him 10 toes on business. So I think here I'm going to start. Um, Meg said, "Hi, Destin, greeting from South Africa. Hey, sis, what's up? I've been enjoying and bench watching your channel. Thank you, sis. Glad to catch up with your live. Audio is fine. And then hit. Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. Hit the like button, guys. Thank you, Meg. Thank you, Meg. Meg, you can come join on the live. Okay, I'll drop the link again. Okay, I'll drop the link again. See, Nigeria is Nigeriaing me right now. I just pray they don't take this line. So smash the like button. This will help you to push it out to more people that subscribe to the channel. So give it a like. That's so I really want to know you guys' take on this on the Onezwa issue, and then the when a woman is secured, it becomes inconvenient. And then the lady now talked about how she had to decenter her husband, and this is something I've shared a couple of times in our life, and even in videos I do. Wow! videos I do, why I talk about why I'm able to live the life I live and why I'm able to create content that I do. Because a lot of times people usually associate being married, especially when you're in Nigeria, being married to, you can't say certain things, you can move certain way. But I feel like in my society, it seems abnormal because it's like, oh, your husband allows you to do whatever you know. But no, that's because I dissented my husband, and that was what had made me be a different individual apart from just being married. So my only identity is not being married. I'm not just a wife. I am destiny. Okay, so yeah. So I 150%. Simple. Where are you today? Are you at work or something? Angel, where are you? Guys, come up. I only have 2 hours, and this is already 11 minutes gone. Please come up. I'm not going to be here for long. I'm from LA. I had to look up Nara's drama because I have no idea because she was in a drama. I would say though she was in it. Yes, I feel like my honest thought on the Nara Smith one. Pam said, I think that content that's want to be consumed and does not empower others, like yours with women, will only last so long as they no longer impact. Harassment is on our way out in due time. Yeah, I feel like Nara Smith's content, I don't know, maybe because that's not my reality. I feel like Nara Smith's content is too like nobody's life is that perfect. Nobody's wearing the video. I saw a video of her yesterday of her wearing oh, let me see if I can see the video. I'll show you guys of her wearing like I'm coming. Let me go to TikTok and reduce the volume for copyright. And I was like, nobody does that. Like nobody goes to the kitchen and prepare anything like that. Okay, let me search for it. So I feel like our content is like is being performative. Is not. Oh, this. Who is in the kitchen cooking? You see the clothes now. You see the clothes in a bit. Oh come on! I want is the clothes that I want. Oh, let's just wait. We'll see it. It's the clothes I want you guys to see, but obviously she's a food creator. Yeah. Who's in the kitchen like this? Who is in the kitchen dressed like this? For real. Like it's so not real. Like it stresses me. It doesn't stress, it doesn't bother me because I don't really consume my content that much. But yeah, I just feel like the expectation and then you see some girls say, oh, I want to be like Nara Smith. I feel like I feel like yes, as much as she's I feel like she has a whole team, is a full production going on here. Hey, somebody is here. Hey girl is here. My girl is here. Hey girl.
Hey guys,
How are you? Lift your
I'm
camera the
fine.
other way. Your
Oh, right.
camera is
I was gonna ask if it was gonna be like that. Oops. Let's
yeah,
fix it.
perfect.
Okay. Okay, cool. Let me do my light.
Thank you, Jude.
I think I'll put it here
Oh,
instead.
let me pop up your question. So I just feel like she's so like it's not real. I feel like she has a whole team. First of the mental stress of prepping, cooking, and cleaning after cooking. Uh-uh. And she has to put on a white. How is this? How is this not for sure? Honestly. So yeah, I don't think. Thank you, Anna. I'm missing you guys' comments. Have you been, sis? What has been happening? Where are you going to today? Because you're always out every Saturday.
No, I'm not going anywhere today. I'm just chilling at home. I was actually about to film a video, but then I remember that you were live, so I was like, okay, I have to stop by before and join the conversation because I have the whole day to
Thank
do
you.
videos. No
Thank
problem.
you. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. What are your thoughts on the Nara Smith situation?
So like on the Nara Smith stuff, I didn't really like her content isn't for me because like like you said, a lot of it seems a bit unrealistic unless you have like a lot of help. Of course you can be in the kitchen cooking every day if you for me, if I had like house helps. Like when I lived in Nigeria, for example, we always had
Yeah.
fresh food, all that because we had help and all that. So and nobody was even filming that either. So like the point you just made right now with like the outfits and the production of it all is mainly for entertainment. Like I have no issue with her doing her content and all that, but it's just it makes it, so at some point I'm just like, but why? Like what is the point of it?
What was
And
the reason? What
no,
was
like
the reason?
seriously, like I would never like in reality, like people's real life, even if you're rich or middle class or lower class or whatever, if you're gonna be cooking, if nobody dresses up that extravagantly to cook food. It's not a elegant thing that we're doing. We're cooking food, we're trying to eat, you know?
Mhm. Yeah.
So in my opinion, it's a bit unrealistic, but I feel like she's doing it that way because it's content, which honestly, I don't, that's not the problem here. It's just
Yeah.
like the way some people see it and it's like, oh, this is the lifestyle I'm going to live. Like, no, you don't want to live this kind of lifestyle because
But
it's,
geez, well, sorry, I cut you off. I
mm-hmm,
think where I have a little bit of issue and I give her the bombastic side eye is the fact that she makes it look like, or she tells the story like it's her everyday life. Like,
right,
oh, my husband was going out there and he wanted cereals and I tried to make cereals. Why are you selling this to people? This is not real. If it's fiction, if
true,
it's just for content, make it. But you start making a lot of people have some people that have low self-esteem that aspire to things like that, or because some of us are delulu. Because sometimes I wish that my entire space is well created, my entire space is very clean, and it's not possible. It's always messy. It's not. So
mm,
you don't make the people feel like, oh, you're doing less in your life. Somebody's making this from scratch is
yeah,
usually and I feel like that is why Onezwa's own content seems more authentic because it's messy. You can see all the dirt, you can see all the little mess there. She's not all dressed up because she's out there like, but
yeah,
no,
photos
one is
and all that.
that she's selling it like this is her life.
Yeah,
Like a content creator trying to say this is my lifestyle. You can subscribe to it and all that. That for me, that's why I feel like it's for me, it's not right.
yeah,
Because
I
you're going
think,
to give young girls the wrong impression about
yeah.
how
I think you're,
yes.
you're you're making a great point because for me, I see it and I automatically know like I'm a bit in touch with reality in the sense that this is not the way life. Even if I have like a clean house, super clean, when people cook, it's usually not that what's the word? It's not always that curated, so perfect looking and all that. It's so aesthetic. That's the word. She's giving us aesthetics. So, and I
Yeah.
do agree that she's trying to make it seem like, especially with the we were about to go to sleep and we realized we didn't have toothpaste. Anybody would go to freaking gas station or CVS or whatever and buy toothpaste and not go and create to like how do you even have these ingredients in your house just readily available to create toothpaste or to create bubble gum? I understand if it was that because there are a lot of cooking food content creators who just say that I wanted to make this, I was craving it, so I went to the store and bought it specifically to make this, not just that I just opened my pantry and I have ingredients to make gum. Like that's not even it's not even the issue that you want to make gum. It's just like saying, "Oh, I have a illness and I'm allergic to many things and all that." I mean, okay, but when you speak about like Onezwa's content, and I recently just discovered her too, and it's so like inviting. I don't know. There's something about the like the aura that she gives off and all that, and it
Yeah.
does seem more realistic because she doesn't come on here and says like, um somebody's craving this, so I decided to make whatever from scratch and this and that.
Yeah.
It just seems like, she cooks food, she loves food, and she likes like the nature of it and the sustainability of it all and all that, and she
Yeah.
decides to, bring us into that. But with Nara Smith, everything just seems a bit too curated, and it does try to sell a dream that a lot of people don't realize is not possible. And I'm not saying that it's impossible to cook and not be clean at the same time, because I cook and I usually clean as well, so that at the end of the whole situation, I don't have all these dishes piled up and all that. But the outfit, the makeup, why would I ever go and get made up to cook food?
I want to ask you, it's going to be, I will argue this one with you. I understand, oh, you cook and you clean.
Mhm.
Okay, you create content. Have you tried to create content? When you create content, how messy everywhere gets? Just
Yeah,
even the beauty
exactly.
stuff, just the
Just
beauty
makeup,
content.
yeah.
Then you're not doing food, you're taking it from different angles. It's not as if it's just station, it's different angle, and there's
Right.
no mess, there's no
And
spill on the table, and you're
yeah,
done
I
in
think,
2 hours.
yeah,
It's not realistic.
from
It's
a
not realistic.
from a content creator's perspective, like, I know for a fact that she does double takes where you probably like clean one method and take it from this angle and does that and all that. So it's just like, from our perspective, people who understand what it takes to make a video, I know how many times I repeat the exact same thing 15 times before it feels right, and then I go back, in post, and remove all those mistakes, and everything that is out there is what I want people to see, is how I want people to, sometimes you leave a little blooper in there, just to be relatable or to be funny or whatever. But I don't, my gripe with her is the selling a dream. Even though, me personally, I can realize, like, I don't aspire to be like this. I aspire to have money, but not so I can be, not so that I can do that. Like, no. And my another issue when when we're talking about the copying, the or stealing content or whatnot, my main problem is not even that they have similar content, is that she said that she never saw Onezwa before. And
Yeah.
then it was later found out that she has watched her videos before and said that the girl was inspiring to her, which
Mhm.
is fine. If she had said, um, I was watching this TikToker and she inspired me to do this, that would, honestly, that's all it would have taken. And I think this whole thing started because her fans or her followers were saying that Onezwa was copying Nara, when,
Yeah.
because, like, I feel like, why did this whole thing start? Because there's so many people who do food content, start creating from scratch, the lo-fi soft voice, whatever. There are many people who do that, but I don't think this would have been an issue if it wasn't that her fans kind of like stirred the pot. And then, because Onezwa says, well, since you guys want to talk about copying, I did this today, tomorrow your fave is doing this exact same
Yeah.
thing. I did this thing today, tomorrow, or 2 days later. That's a bit concerning. It's a bit weird, in my opinion. And
Mhm.
that's my main issue. Instead of just coming out and saying, like, this, I find this person inspiring, you guys, not too much on this girl.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
now suing her for defamation. I
That's
mean,
allegedly. That's allegedly. That's
that's
allegedly
true.
because
That's true. I heard that that because of the English that was used in the letter, the supposed letter, that it might
yeah.
just be troll person trying to get attention, saying that they're suing. But if it's true that she is suing, that, for me, I'm just like, why? For what?
You could
Like,
be the Jackie Aina, you could be the Jackie Aina and Petty Page situation too.
yeah, that's for me. I don't follow Nara. I see her videos a lot, and there's some videos that I do like, because it's not because it's like authentic or anything. It's because it's less this is how I live my life, more of like the paid partnership content that she makes. Like, I saw
Yeah.
one where she made watermelon sorbet or something. based on a Laneige lip mask, and I love Laneige products. So for me, I
Uh-huh.
was like, okay, well, this is something I already know I like. So I mean, yeah, whatever. The watermelon flavored made you feel like making watermelon sorbet. Cool, whatever. It's nice. It was cute. But everything else, I don't think I can constantly watch that all the time because that's not the type of lifestyle that I aspire to have. Even Onezwa, I think her content is nice, but it doesn't make me want to go out and forage and make and cook for. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. But I'd rather watch hers than Nara's because honestly, at some point it gets annoying, like the sleepy talking and all that. Like, it's not. It doesn't. It won't hold me for long. That's all I have to say about this whole thing. If you have any more, we can.
For me, like, Nara should have just owned up and just, and I feel like that's what stretched this whole drama to where it is now. If she had just, even in the comment section of Nara said, guys, like, no, she's very inspiring. Like, I love her content. Like, we have, and then Nezawa actually did a video of her addressing the issue. But I think that video, if you go to the comment section, people were dragging her. Smith fans were coming for her. Like, no, and that was when she was like, you know what? I've been keeping quiet with you people since. I just feel like
Right.
Nara could just die this whole thing. Whether she's copying, not copying, nothing in this life is new.
Right. Everything is recycled.
Yeah. So she just come like, okay, you guys back up. It's not that deep. She makes something from scratch. I make something from scratch. There's enough room for everybody. If you love our content, but don't compare me to anybody. Just the way like you see someone like Jackie Aina and you tell them, don't compare me with anybody. I'm on my own lane.
Yeah.
She could have just easily do that, and everybody, all our fans were like, okay, whatever. Our queen is on her own lane. Let's rest and all
Exactly.
that. But
Exactly. They didn't have to drag Onezwa because the whole copying thing did not start until they were putting it on her when that's not even the case. So she's basically like, if you people want to come for me, then I will come for your fave or y'all through your fave. And I mean, it is what it is. I hope they settle it amicably because all of this seems really unnecessary to me. Like I was watching the thing, I'm just like, are you kidding me right now? Like, really? Anywho.
my own is that is the way I know, yes, I'm talking about it because I'm a content creator, and some of them talking about it, they're content creator. But the way some people go all out for it, I'm just like, is it that deep? And I also, okay, another part I want to take on it. Somebody said, I think she was among the stage that said that, oh, another one is bitter because Nara Smith gets paid and she doesn't get paid. A lot of us African creators, yes, we are bitter, we are pained. We are pained
Yeah, I
because
think
we put
she
in
should
so
be.
much work into
Yeah.
content creation with the all obstacles in front of us. Yes, I know South Africa is still a little bit from us, but yes, another one suing Nara Smith or vice versa. No, they said allegedly Nara Smith is suing Onezawa.
Yeah.
So for me, I understand her frustration, how she would put her content, she will probably get deals once in 3 months, and somebody else is doing that same recipe. Come on, we've all been there as content
Yeah.
creator where you put similar content with somebody, you go even go look at the video, like, what am I doing wrong? Why
What
is
am I
that? Now
doing?
you even you and you know that my own feels very authentic, my own feels very everybody feels their own content is the best. But this time around, it's not just you wondering what the algorithm is doing. You know what the platform is doing. The platform is paying other creators, not paying you, and you put in work
Mhm.
into it. And then the same people on the platform is now coming to now tell you that you're copying someone. You're going to be pissed. You're going to
Yep.
be pissed.
Yeah. I can understand her frustration with the things or with content creators. I remember like a couple years ago, one of my friends, he does really well on YouTube, sorry, on Facebook and like on social media and stuff. And he was trying really, really hard to, kind of monetize his content because he gets lots of views. And that's something that in America or in a different country you would naturally get paid for. But
Yeah.
he's just doing all that and it's not producing anything. He's still in Nigeria in living below many people. So I can totally understand, and it's a bit insensitive to say you should be mad at the system and not this person that you're pissed that yeah, I mean, I have every right to be upset if that something that I'm doing and I'm getting a lot of views for it, and now
Yeah.
someone else literally takes the same idea the next day and does the same thing, and now she's getting paid for my ideas.
Yeah.
It's gonna be, I'm gonna feel some type of way, and now you are accusing me of stealing from her when it's
Yeah.
the other way around, and it can be proven that it's the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
That would piss anyone off, and I think it's a bit insensitive to throw it in her face that it's because you're not getting paid that you're mad. I think that's a
Yeah.
good reason to be upset, whether you're upset
Yeah.
at TikTok, whether you're upset at the organization itself, because yeah, why is monetization not available to certain countries? I don't understand. Maybe there's something that I don't get.
What was this? I said, I had no idea they're cheating.
No.
You're over there. Okay, I think we're talking about the money. Guys,
Yeah, the
sorry.
monetization.
Read something over and over again for me to get it right. Yeah, like it's crazy. Like here on YouTube. Like I remember when I told my friend in the US, YouTube takes 30% of the earnings.
Wow.
30%. Whatever you make, they take 30%. And there's nothing you can, there's nobody will complain to them. You ain't why even like I thank God at least they are paying us something.
At least I'm getting something.
And TikTok, I Lavant, and TikTok is even what did you know how many people like so many people are like, oh, Destiny, start posting. I know people that are reposting my content on Facebook. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Somebody has said couple. And obviously that person is making more like copy and paste is me there. Hi guys, giving my everything. But I'm just like, there's nothing I can do. If I say let me go and post on Facebook, they're not going to monetize me. And
Are
I
you
don't
able to
have that.
copyright strike that person?
I don't even know how to do it on the Facebook platform.
Yeah, I would look into that because that shouldn't be okay.
But I'm just like when I saw somebody sent me the link or like Destiny, you need to check this out. Somebody's copying your content and posting it on Facebook. It's going viral. I was like, I saw the thing. I was like, okay, what do I do? There's nothing more. Like, see, I'm at that point in my life where if I cannot do something about something, I don't dwell in it. Like, I guess I'm okay. Is there any action I can take? No, I'm not active on
Right.
Facebook. I can't say, okay, I'm posting it on Facebook and I'm making money off it. Then somebody, no, I can't make money off it from Facebook. So, except I automatically go and have a US Facebook account, which
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah, you have to
For
be
me,
doing some shady stuff. Like, I remember this one
exactly.
guy one time asked me to create US number for him, and then like that just doesn't feel. I think he was trying to like scam people, but some people try to do stuff like that. Like they'll try and get a number that's US based, so they can create an
Yeah,
account that looks like they're in the US. But a lot of people
yeah.
use it to scam people. So I don't know. It's not a good look.
Exactly. But what I was there, with one I was in, I was trying to talk to my best friend because she's in Canada. But then I was like, you know what? Create so it would be like a joint thing for me and her
Hmm.
that I'm comfortable with. But she's even busy with life. I can for me, I was like, okay. But like, do you know yes, like who you live, I can't stress. Someone said Narazmit isn't even soft life. She is working and the main breadwinner. Woo! Woo! Woo!
Yeah,
Oh my
when people talk about that trad life thing or stay at home mom thing or a mom that doesn't work but you're creating content, it's like doing that is a job, like when they try to put it in people's faces for going to work, but just because your job is a different look, is packaged differently than somebody who's going driving to work, working at McDonald's, all that, you're still working at the end of the day. Cooking all that cooking and making chingum from scratch. Do you think it's not work? Who wants to my friend without want to go and make chingum from scratch for what? When I'm making money and I can go and buy gum. I'm sorry, like I
I
don't
keep
want to
telling
do
people,
it.
you see the trad wife on TikTok is a scam, and anybody, and you see men
Big
come and
time.
say, you know what, people are doing trad wife. These are the type of women we want. Those women are working. They are being paid. They are in the United States. Their accounts have been monetized.
Right, and
So
that's
if
if
you
they're
are
even
doing trad
online.
wife, the one that will be doing trad wife that you would believe this is trad wife. And Nigerian women, let them do trad wife because I get this zero naira zero kobo. Then we know.
Right. I mean, people
Any
are already
Nigerian woman
actually
doing
being
trad
tried
wife.
wives not getting paid. That's just their life. And now you are over here glamorizing hard work, acting
But
like
then
it's so
it doesn't even make sense. Like if you
no.
are an adult and you've been through life, you even know that it's even to create content, sit down to create content is time consuming. So if your life is busy and you're not work, this is not work for you. That will be the least thing you want to give your time to because there are 1,001 you have children you're taking care of.
He
Who
has
is letting
babies.
the children those money that you're waking up and making complex from scratch? Who
Make
is
it
holding
serious.
the baby? The baby saying, "Mommy, mommy." Who is holding the baby? I don't
Right.
get it.
I've heard that she has like, she has help because she can afford it. There are women out there who actually do
But
trad
that is
wife
not
activities
again.
that are
That is not
not
even
receiving
trade.
help.
Then the idea they are selling trade drive. That's not it again because the
Yeah.
trade drive is that
It's an idea they're trying to sell to you, but when you're not, if you now buy it, if you eat that ish up, you realize that this is you are entering what do they call it, servitude. You're entering servitude with no payments. Your husband isn't paying you. You're not, if you're a content creator, you're not if you're not a content creator, you're not getting paid from that, from sponsorship, from brands, all that, because then it would be worth it. But you're just doing this because you were sold a lie and you ate that ish up, and now you are a servant in your own house, not getting
exhausted.
paid. You can work, you do nothing. And it's not like you're
Exhausted.
filming yourself. Like, I don't understand people who think, like, do you think an average trad wife is a content creator that can monetize her labor? No, you're entering hard labor because you think it's a lifestyle that you want, but you don't understand that there are people with means that you don't have. An
Wow.
average man in this world cannot sustain a household where you're sitting at home and doing all this, doing all that. Both of you need to get up and work. If your job is that you're on YouTube, if it's that you go to a part-time stuff, work. Find
Mm-hmm.
something to do.
Like it's just for me. Like when people say, "Oh, whenever I see those trad wife content, I'm just laughing. I'm just like, even the oh, a woman should just sit, or a woman should be in the feminine energy so that their man provide. What are you doing online? What are you doing online? Hi guys, hi Guardian, hi introvert. How are you? I used to miss this introvert person as you before, but now I can tell the difference. So people used to say like I'm like, so you what are you doing? Guys, Angel One, do you want to come up? I could have the video taken
Oh
down, but
yeah.
I will need to provide my personal information to Google, YouTube, my physical address, and I don't want to do that. Ah, why don't you want to do it? Are you monetize it on YouTube? Give them anyway. We
I
that
mean,
needs the
I
money,
don't
we'll give
know.
them all the assets. People for NIM, we give it to them.
Is there a reason that you don't want to give them your address? Like, give it to Google? Because if it's that somebody's stealing your content, I don't know. I'm not sure if there's something I don't know. Please enlighten us, because I'm not
Funny.
sure I know why you wouldn't want to give your physical address.
I get because one way or the other, if you've ever ordered anything online, your address is literally on the internet.
True.
Okay, please, I'd love you to come up. So what that I think that's another thing in back of my sometimes I like, especially when it comes to Google, like this people they've already harvested this data as much as they can. Who am I?
Bro,
Yes,
like
it.
the amount of money that YouTube and Google and their parent company, there's even a company that owns Google, I can't remember the name. The amount of money that they're making off of us, even the people that have millions of views that get a lot of money through the ads and stuff, it's still not nearly enough, like comparable to what the company itself, like YouTube itself makes off of those
And do you know the
ads.
funny thing? YouTube, yes, they tell you, oh, they are transparent with their paying, but the truth is that a lot of creators don't know the exact percent they take out of ad
Hmm.
revenue. It's just
And now somebody's
speculation.
now stealing from you and getting some, even though it's a crumb based from the cake that they're serving, you should still fight for it, however way you can.
Yeah, I just some people will say,
Alphabet, yeah,
oh,
it's Alphabet. That's the company that owns Google, the parent company.
really?
Google, yeah. When I found that, I was like, Jesus Christ, things there's deep, there's deep things that nobody really knows about. And who is the face of Alphabet? Do we know who that is? No. The
No.
person is just somewhere living his best life or their best life, and just farming money.
When they say when your boss gets a boss, that is it.
Exactly.
Your oga get oga. Just calm down.
Oh,
Don't like it. I feel like the 1% that controls and rules everything, we can't really like comprehend what they're doing.
yeah, and they don't want you
We
to.
speculate. We can only speculate, but we cannot.
Yeah, it's kind of like the discourse that was around the Met Gala when
Yeah,
it was going on, about how like celebrities are kind of like a distraction, and celebrities, content creators, all the people, the influencers that are in your face, is to hide
yeah,
the people who are actually like benefiting from what those influencers are doing, what those celebrities are doing, the where the money actually goes to, where the influence actually is. They don't want you to know who they are. They don't want you to
yeah.
to clock their tea basically. So they put celebrities out there. They want you to be distracted by all this fanfare and all that. And people, we eat it up because we're trying to be distracted from the stress that we're going through in life. So a lot of escapism happens because, so it's just like a cycle that we're
Mm-hmm.
also kind of participating in. I know I'm guilty of it too. Shoot. The amount of my money that I've given to so many of these 1% people shamelessly.
No, but the thing is that like so I know I'm diverting to another topic, but sometimes when I think about it, sometimes I usually think that probably yes, maybe we're actually an a what's they call it what do you call it? I'm trying to remember the name. PC? Is that what they call it? PC?
PC.
Yeah. When some people believe that we are like in a computer game.
Oh, simulation.
No, but there's another name for it. I actually believe that's what we are because I'm just like, where did all this madness? Where did the 1% all of them gather and then where did all this like my own brother like where did all this say? Are you
Yeah.
sure we're really existing here? These people are not.
Yep.
Sometimes I just get because why can't it be broken? Why can't it be? Why is it untouchable? How is it
Exactly.
untouchable? How did you build it that strong over the like? Listen, don't even think too much about it.
Yeah, it makes my head hurt sometimes when you have that moment of like Sonder, and you realize like how you yourself is like this one little tiny dot compared to in a world of many like I just like, what, nope, I'm just gonna turn on the TV and entertain myself, because like I can't, what am I gonna do besides, I don't know, like protest, or even in America I can't vote because I'm not a citizen. So it's like I can't do anything besides use my voice for things I believe in. That's literally all I
Even with the voice, there's the amount of voice you
have. A
can
limit.
use. There's
Yeah, yeah.
the
The
amount
freedom
of voice you can
of speech only goes so far. The
even
freedom of
the
speech
freedom
goes
of
so far.
movement. They said freedom of movement. Mm,
Yeah,
mm, mm.
sure. Yeah,
So
sometimes I'm just like, you know what?
there's nothing that is actually free. That's one thing I've come to realize. There's nothing that is free.
At
Not
all.
the only thing that is free is how you treat yourself. But like
Right.
that's the thing. Because every person is looking at what they want to get out of you. And if they're not getting anything out of you, they treat you a different way. Everybody.
True. True.
Even up to parents, even up to siblings.
Up to parents.
Do you guys so if you are not serving a purpose to someone, like there's nothing that is free, literally.
I
There's nothing
agree.
that even to yourself, Zeb, at the point, there's nothing that is free. Because sometimes the hard work, the stress you're stressing yourself is because you want a result, you want something. So at
Yeah.
the point, is freedom really freedom?
Now that's a good question because like even me, that's how I live my life because I don't like people that much, like physical bodies being around physical people. Sometimes I just
Yeah.
don't understand the point. So I have to, but I realize how we need, like, you need connections, you need networking, and I feel like I'm able to do that when necessary. But
Yeah.
and which is why I feel like for me, you have to be beneficial in my life for me to create a space for you, because
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to kind of like I don't want to say monetize, but kind of like make there a quality. My presence needs to be quality. Like even for me to be in your life, I should also be providing something for you. We have to be useful to each other. I'm not interested in being friends where we're just talking about nothing or anything. Hello, is this Angel?
Hi.
I know, you're
Is
probably
it?
surprised that I'm a dude, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, no. I think the picture looks like the one I was seeing,
Oh,
but
no,
I
no,
think
no,
I might
no.
be wrong.
No, there's another account called Guilty Angel, I believe, in the chat. My,
But
my
you're a
channel's name is
guardian.
Guardian Angel. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
had a
oh.
feeling.
How you
Yeah, I know.
doing?
I am doing all right. I discovered your channel not too long ago, Destiny, and I actually enjoy it, especially from other African creators. I'm Congolese myself, so I like to see other African creators uh, you know,
I'm
succeed.
shocked. I'm opening my mouth and I'm surprised because men don't like my content. So,
No, I that well, I the thing is, I don't mind whether it's a woman or whatever. The topics that you discuss, so occasionally I want to keep informed as to what's going on, so that's why I watch your stuff, and I enjoy it. I think
thank
that your
you.
videos are well done. Yeah.
Thank you.
So
Thank
yeah. So basically, I don't. I think you wanted me to explain my situation a bit better, or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, actually, it's very impromptu. I did not think that I would be on a stream with anyone, but I have a channel called Guardian Angel. My name is GA Solar, but that's what it used to be called. And on my channel, I have educational topics and so on. Now I'm currently working on a series where I am talking about black issues in black communities all over the world. And so I had a black a person, a female American, come onto my channel so that we could kind of talk about things. Now, she was a very conservative individual, but then I thought that, well, I don't mind. If she has something valuable to say, let me have her on. Now, the problem is, at that time, she was a pretty small channel. Now, there's another much larger conservative YouTuber who kind of blew up her channel, made her really big and stuff. And now she's like, pretty big. Now, the problem is that now that conversation, she's now taken my video and posted it on her channel after we agreed. I told her, no, 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 if you can just kind of bring the traffic into my channel, and you can kind of advertise so that it can come on. But she kind of ignored what I had asked for, and she kind of just uploaded the video on her own. So basically, she's getting all the views and money now. Well, I don't know about money, but yeah,
Oh, but well, I want to ask a question. Do you still have the video up on your channel?
I do. Yeah, it's still up, it's still
You can
there, but it's
actually,
not
you
getting
can
any traffic.
actually, you can actually give her a copyright for that because the YouTube
Right.
algorithm, there's a place on your YouTube. It's called copyrights. Your YouTube studio. If you scroll down by your left hand side, you see copyright, and then you will see channels that have used your content. How many percentage of your content was used? And if you feel like it's unjust and you don't want the person, and you've reached out to the person and say, you know what, take down the content also, and the person refused, you can just give the person a strike. YouTube will honor that.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely aware of that. I actually spent a bit of time reading about that. It's just like I told you, the first thing is that I have never put down my all my information, especially to Google, and they don't know it. They don't have that information, and I don't really feel like I want to start now. And the second thing is,
Right?
I'm just wondering if, well, I don't know. I could if I found it but I'm just not sure if I find this particular situation that worth it. I'm not a very argumentative person. Sometimes I don't like to start problems and stuff. If she wants really, because I did try to reach out to her to try to ask her, why did you ignore what I asked? And she hasn't responded. But I'm a bit of a bit of a chilled person when it comes to that. If it was another video, then maybe, but yeah.
Oh, another thing you can do, you can just ask her to tag you. That could go a long way to your channel.
Oh,
Hi,
that's
Prod,
another
how you
video.
doing?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
So you can ask her to do that,
Um,
to tag you on the video, and
I mean, she tried. She put my thing there, but she put it completely incorrectly. But yeah.
Wow.
But basically, I just wanted to explain the situation. Yeah, go ahead.
go
Hi guys,
on.
sorry, Destiny.
Hi.
Sorry, I wanted to say hi quickly, but I'll let you finish, GA.
Oh, I'm almost
Okay,
done.
thank
Thank you. Yeah, I'm almost done. I was just saying that, yeah, I so basically I know that I can. I'm and it's fully in my rights to take down the video. It's just, yeah, maybe I will in the future. But it's just the reason why I wanted to come up here is just to validate what you guys were saying, that these things really do happen. And when you want to go through that process, sometimes it gets a bit complicated. Sometimes, especially for smaller creators, they have
Mhm.
to do things that they don't really want to do and so on. But there are ways of doing it, but some things are very stacked against them. So I just found it interesting that you guys were talking about that. I'm literally in the situation because she uploaded that
Yeah.
video, I think, yesterday. And another thing is that because her video is the video, her fan base is very like right-wing conservatives and everything. I'm getting a lot of hate on her channel
Oh,
without people being able to
What?
uh, yeah. So if people saw that it was on my channel, because the funny thing is we had this conversation 6 months ago. We had this conversation 6 months ago. She only uploaded it yesterday. So people think that this conversation is new. So things that I said back then, it may be taken out
Mm,
of context because,
contact,
things
okay.
have happened. So now I can't even defend myself because people don't realize that there are some people who are like accusing me of a lot of things, like having a victimhood mentality, and they don't even see my other videos, you see.
what?
So
How do
Hold
we
on
find
now.
I
your
know it's
channel if we're looking for it?
it's just Guardian Angel 1. Guardian Angel 1, or GA Solar, that's my handle. Guardian Angel 1 is the name of my channel. I discuss a lot of educational stuff, and I have a Guardian Angel 2 channel where I have an animation series going on. But yeah,
Okay.
so that's my life.
Okay.
Just keep doing what you're doing. Like, what is
Yeah.
yours is yours. That's what I believe in. What is yours? I have a couple of my videos that are being reposted somewhere, but I just believe what is mine is mine. Nobody can do it like you, and just do you. Honestly.
Well, I
Ooh.
appreciate that. I'll be around, but then I guess I'll let other people also speak. And thank you for having me. And I really appreciate your work. And I like that you guys are having these conversations. And I really do think that there should be more unity, especially in the African diaspora, and support of each other. We should avoid. That's what the series I'm actually working on now. So if you want more about that, then maybe you should watch it.
Yeah, I'm
Definitely,
trying
I'm
to
going to
find
do
it,
that.
but YouTube is annoying and they don't post like how on the search list and you type someone's exact channel name and you won't be able to find them. So I think we're probably
Yeah.
gonna need like a link to your channel if there's a way to put the link in the chat or
Yeah.
something so that I can like find
Yeah.
you specifically because
Also,
they're not showing
I
it to
think
me.
go to the community post I did for this live. Go to the community post I did for this live and leave a comment with the link to your channel.
Yeah, you can click on your channel. Yeah.
Okay.
Because YouTube is
All right. Let
shady.
me do that.
YouTube is super
It is
shady.
shady.
Ah,
It is shady.
you would type and type. I remember when I was looking for your channel that they were typing like it wasn't. It was
Yeah,
later on I saw it.
yeah. Like before I got when I was like super super small, like 50 subscribers, I would be able to search my name and I would be the only one to come up. But then all of a sudden, when I started to get a little bit bigger and all that, like now I cannot find myself. Like I have to scroll, and then I realized like something that I've done to kind of curb it to make my channel show up at least maybe on the 14th tier list was to put my channel name in the title of my videos, like just leave it there on in the title to make sure like I put simply EL on every title that I post so that it kind of like does whatever
Boost
for the
the algorithm.
algorithm. Yeah, so I think that's another idea. You can also like try putting it in the thumbnail, in the description. Just make sure your name is like plastered everywhere, so that it so that the numbers can work in your favor. Because I don't know why YouTube is like that.
So just go to the community tab. I know you sent me a private message now, but I don't know if I can retract the message when I'm done with the live. So there's a community tab. I posted that there's going to be live today by 8 p.m. Just go down in the community tab and just leave a comment down there. It's something
Yeah,
like,
Okay, I get what you
then
mean.
we'll be able to
Okay,
click
I will.
directly to your channel. Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, I will
So once
definitely
you
do
get
that.
there,
And thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
thank
All right.
you.
Thank you. It's so nice meeting you.
Hi
Thank you
guys.
guys.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm so good. Oh, I'm so glad I finally caught your live, Destiny. I love your channel. I love your
Thank
channel.
you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So I'm in Zambia. I'm British Zambian. I'm not a content creator, and I was literally just eating like dinner, and I went on YouTube to watch a video, and I was like, "Oh, Destiny's live! Yay! Let me jump on." So no, I'm glad I caught this. Hi guys. Hi Simply. Hi. Sorry,
Hi.
not to ignore you. Hi.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, no, I'm really glad. I've kind of caught a gist of what you guys have been talking about. So like I said, I'm not a content creator. I'm a filmmaker, I'm a producer, I'm a director. I've been working in the UK film industry for about 7 years now. So you can check me out. Sheila Kayuma. My work is kind of all over the place. So yeah, I wanted to kind of talk about this because I know definitely the reason why I found your channel was because I came across some other channels which were similar to yours by other Niger babes as well. And yours is the one I resonated with the most. And at no point did I ever think, oh, who came first or who was doing this before? Like for me, it was just more so what I kind of related to. And I found that for me, your content and your delivery really works for me, like in terms of like how I digest content, because I work behind the camera, so I'm very conscious of how people actually digest the content that's being created, and not everything works for everybody, right? And so yeah, I'll say one thing. Um, Unfortunately, because of the content creation space being so oversaturated, a lot of content is swiped very, very easily and unnoticeably, and that's just kind of how it goes, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, I try and think of it in terms of what we do, like what I do. I've worked mainly in factual documentary. I've made a lot of my own documentaries, but I've also worked in scripted. And with scripted, it's one of those things where it's you start talking a lot about. Generally, in my industry, we talk a lot about IP, which is your intellectual property, and we have such strict guidelines on who and what can kind of happen, and a lot of the time we correspond with each other a lot. You have major networks where um, one network will pick up a story, or have maybe they're doing a biopic, and then another one also picks that up, and they have to correspond because they have to think about the monetary side of things. They can't both
Yeah.
release um,
Same.
the real life
Same
story of
stuff.
Etta James at the same time. You know what I mean? Because it
Yeah.
now means that they're rivaling each other, and it's just ridiculous. So for the most part, you'll find maybe they'll co-produce something, and I won't go into too much detail because it's so complicated. But a lot of the time, the networks will have production companies will pitch
No
them with
way.
ideas, and they'll commission these.
What happened to is it my connection?
Oh.
Is but my connection is down or what?
I can still hear you.
Yeah, I can hear
My
you too.
connection is down.
Yeah, we can still hear you. You're
We can
still
see
there.
you. We can hear
Okay.
you too.
Yeah, we can still hear you.
I thought
Oh no,
Nigeria was happening right now.
don't worry.
Like
We
enemies,
have the same
enemies at
issue in
home.
Zambia right now. We have load shedding here as well, and it's really bad. So my inverter, I can even hear it like in the background. But yeah, so yeah, I'll wrap it up a little bit quicker. So the idea is a lot of the time when I go online, because I'm so conscious of content, because that's just what I do for my 9 to 5. That's what I do. It's my passion. And when I see a lot of things, kind of the repetition and the saturation of content can be really brain numbing for a lot of people. But then at the same time, you do have people that come up with something extremely creative. And I do feel like there aren't many mechanisms that protect content creators in that aspect. Because if I made a documentary and somebody else came out and made the exact same documentary and did it in the same style, mind you, I made a documentary for BBC and no, sorry, I made a documentary for Warner Brothers, a short documentary for Warner Brothers, and I saw something very similar made almost exactly the same. If I'm being honest, to me, it felt like it was exactly the same as what I had done. And I remember watching it, and it came out about a year after, and I was like, this looks freakishly similar to my documentary. And then I just kind of had to shrug, because there aren't many mechanisms in place, even for people like me. If I wanted to pursue to say, oh, well, you know what, I feel like they've copied my idea. This was something I did. This was my IP, because there's actually contracts in place. It would cost me so much money to have to pursue that. You kind of just have to shrug, you know what I mean? So I can only imagine if it's happening to me on a grander scale, and that's not to diminish what content creators do. I just mean on a grander scale, because I'm dealing with big networks. If it's happening to me on that scale, and I even feel like, because I'm not there yet, you know, I'm still very much at the middle ground of my career. If it's happening to me and I still don't have any mechanisms to protect myself, I can only imagine what it would be like for content creators who are on a platform like YouTube, where it's just kind of like, you know what I mean? Like someone picturing me.
Yeah, like fair use is something that people like they kind of abuse, because YouTube does have the fair use policy where you can't just literally like take someone's exact thing and just paste it exactly like that. You have to basically transform it. It has to be transformative. But the way some people get out of that is like, I don't know if you guys watch these shorts or videos where somebody would literally play someone's video and just put their face in the corner somewhere and just go like, and that counts. And I'm like, wow, okay. Well, and they won't get copyrighted because in YouTube's eyes, they've transformed the thing. And I'm just like, I guess. But yeah, it's an uphill battle, and it's totally understandable why some people are just like, you know what, F it. Like I don't even want to be bothered.
And even the process sometimes that you now have to take to try to rectify and say, no, this is my content. And I feel like when it comes to the YouTube space, even on TikTok, I feel like the algorithm sometimes does not favor the original creator.
Sometimes, yeah.
I feel like it does not favor the original creator. Because sometimes, hi Sandra, sometimes you do those work, the same video, this person will take it, same title. There was a guy I came across. I don't know, like, I can't say for sure that it was my video she took. But what she just did, she didn't transform the content. And sometimes some people see the work we do, the type of content we create, like, it's just easy now. I do not to just sit down and react and all that. And what this girl did, I don't know, I just saw a video came up from somewhere. She literally just did a loop. She was not reacting. She was not communicating with the content. She just did a loop of her face like.
And that is exactly what they do. It is so, it's the laziest.
It's kind of annoying.
It's lazy.
For a reaction video, I'm looking for a reaction. Like I want to know what you think. I don't want to see your face just. That's not what we mean by reaction videos, bro. You need to tell me from like how do you feel about this? Yes, we see your reaction, but you also need to talk and provide some sort of insight. That's what at least that's what I'm looking for when I do for reaction.
What is your own thoughts? You're sharing people's thoughts. What's your own thoughts?
What do you think as well? I just don't want to see your face. I'm sorry.
And for me, like, I just don't know where that. And YouTube is still coming for those of us that that are reacting to content. I know YouTube is coming for us. I know YouTube. I'm just waiting.
Yeah,
I'm just waiting.
there's
No,
another
eventually.
page.
What?
Sorry, Doctor. No, I was just gonna say there's another page. I won't mention their name, but there's two guys that do like a lot of reaction videos to some of these like dating and like who's most attractive, and they were, initially they were fine doing those, but now all of a sudden the company who makes these videos is now coming for them doing reactions. But a lot of the time,
I know the people. Yeah, I saw
their
I saw that.
Did you see
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah,
I watched it, then I watched the video because now I'm like, okay, now I know what they think. I need to go and watch it because now I want to see the full thing because they've obviously cut it down and condensed it to their. And so I'm like, they're driving traffic to your channel.
Yeah.
Why would you
I
want
was
that?
surprised when they did that. I was like, now I'm not gonna watch Jubilee anymore because F you.
You call them out.
I honestly prefer watching people's reactions to Jubilee videos than watching it myself. And now they're on some F shit like this. I'm like, okay, well, excuse my language.
But saying that it's people's reaction that made their channel what it is.
Yep.
It's true.
That's what is people's reaction to their content that blew up their channel. So them now trying to say that, and the crazy is that they're coming for them with old videos from years ago.
Imagine that after they've benefited from it.
Old ones. And that's why one of the guys were really pissed, was like, you know what, they should do their worst. They're not going like, why is it now that whoever, maybe they change the management or something, maybe that's what's going on. But he's not taking anything down. The other guy was like, just take it down. He was like, I'm not taking it down. It's going to be there. It's our work. It's going to be there. And I kind of understand where it's coming from, because as much as reaction may look simple, when you're sourcing for the content, the amount of time, and that's like when there was a lady that reached out to me. I was like, oh, Destiny, I want to do like your type of content. And I was like, sure, do it. Like, come on. I'm not gonna be like, come on. If you can if you have your own person, you can do it. And she barely did it for 2 weeks, and she wrote me on Instagram like, I don't know, how did you normally get content? Where do you source your content from? How do you know the one that is going to? I'm like, I don't know. I see the content, I resonate with it. I like go for what you resonate, something you see and you're like, this is, I need to, something that brought something in you. So like, no, that you wanted. So that pointed out one of my videos, like that type of video, I was like, do you resonate with this type of content? She believes in having children. I don't believe in having children. I'll do content that for child-free people. But you believe in having children, you want to create content for child-free people. The math is not matching. You pick the wrong audience. You're like, but having children content does not bring view. I said, say it's cool. And by the time she tried it for 2 weeks, she came back again. That's a month, and like, that she cannot sit down and react to 20 minutes video.
Yeah, that's what it is. People don't realize the background work that it takes to make something, to pull something together. And that's one thing I will say about content creators, right? Because I know exactly what it's like to manage and edit. I know what it's like to film something and literally have hours upon hours upon hours of footage. And you now have to condense it down into what is needed.
To like 20 minutes or
to like
30 minutes.
And then one thing I will say that I'm jealous about you guys, at least you do it from your own like perspective of this is what needs to be in there. For us, we still have networks who are going to come back and nitpick what you're doing. But at the same time, it's still very difficult. And then you have the editing process. I know what it's like. I manage edits daily. So I know exactly what it's like to say, okay, can we remove this? And sometimes it's just the tiniest little thing. It might just be we have a jump cut there, or that isn't meshing well with that. Can we put something else in there? You know, it's so tedious. It's such tedious work. And so when you look at that, I think people maybe sometimes don't appreciate just how much work can go into that process. And that's probably why she's like, where do you get the content from? I can't sit down and react to a 20-minute. Well, you have to react to a 20-minute video. You do. That's what it is. You have to be fully informed before you have an opinion.
What do you think? And then after that, maybe that reaction took you maybe your raw content is like an hour to 2 hours long.
An hour.
Now you have to sit down, watch that thing, cut, put transition, do
You
that, add
you watch it over and over and over again.
the amount of times I get
Exactly.
tired of watching my own. I'm like, I don't want to watch the video one more time, but I have to.
Hearing my voice sometimes just makes me like,
Yeah, like at some point I'm tired. I'm leave it alone, come back another day.
like you're making then you're talking too much. And this video is too long. Who were you talking? Like this thing, who were you saying? What's your problem?
Yeah.
What's your talk? Because you have to now listen to yourself over and over and over and over and over and over again. I'm just like, and me being a perfectionist that I am, it's hard. Like the video that went up today, that video was supposed to not, like, wasn't supposed to. I was just like, it's not good enough for me. I'm just like, my niece was like, Auntie, it's okay. Let it go. I'm like,
Don't stress.
Yeah, like I would
I
still
need
upload
I want to
video
redo it again.
after.
Sometimes I
I'll be
redo
like,
my videos. Sometimes I redo my videos. Like that one that went up, Nepa took the light, and it happens like I can be filming a video and the light is out. I had to off everything and start everything from scratch. Oh Lord. I'm like, I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
yeah,
And somebody is like, oh no, it's just, but that's just it. I believe like if you enjoy it and you enjoy what you're talking about and you're passionate about it, it's you don't
it's
even though
worth it.
you're physically tired, it's not as work. You're super excited. Like when I see some videos, I'm just like the video going up this night after this live. I'm super excited for you to go to see that video. A mother that refused their daughter to sleep.
What?
The woman is literally the daughter cannot sleep. Oh yeah, wake up, come on. And I had one auntie that did that thing to me. I had one auntie that did that. If that auntie sees me smile, hey, it's like the one that's dropped down. You must not smile around her. She see that you're so excited. Yeah, she's a joy killer. You're just smiling here. She's like, what's your problem? Why are you so jumpy? Why are you so jumpy? I've told you as a lady, you're not supposed to be jumpy. What's your problem?
But you see, definitely, this is what you're saying is exactly. This is why I feel like you see the lady that was asking you, oh, how do you do that? Some things are just a calling. Sometimes it's just your calling. Not everybody's going to be able to do what you do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not everyone is going to be able to do what you guys do because it's a talent in itself. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. And I've come across, honestly, it's so painful for me because I sit down and I come across so much content and I'm just like, my gosh, I wish someone, and I'm someone that believes that you should be able to do whatever it is that you want to do, regardless. Because like for me, I went into an industry that I never in a million years thought I'd ever be able to break into. And I'm now comfortably in it 7 years later. And I'm still like pinching myself like, wow, I actually managed to get into it. And everyone was like, this is such a tough industry. You sure you want to go into this? And if it wasn't for my mom pushing me and just being like, come on, if it's not you, it'll be someone else, go and do it. And so, but at the same time, I still feel like you need to have one, a passion, and two, even if you don't start off great, because not everybody starts off at the best level, but at the same, at some point you need to realize that this is for me. And so it's really good. Like I'm really sorry, Simply, I haven't seen any of your content, but I will definitely check it out. But definitely you're so good at articulating yourself. And I know the last video I watched, I know you said something about having dyslexia, and I was like, I would have never guessed that. Never would I have guessed that, because you articulate your points so well and you let everything breathe and everything doesn't feel like you're just regurgitating all this content on top of everybody. People can actually digest it. It's so easily digestible, and I think that's a talent within itself. And I think a lot of people go on this and they see what you're doing and they'll be like, I can do that. Well, she's just sitting in the house making videos. I can do that too. No, actually, I used to think that when I first started seeing a lot of people making videos in their bedrooms, I used to be like, they don't know what it's really like. You know, it's so tough making content. But really, it like now I have a newfound respect for people who really have that as like a talent and a forte. And like, not to be horrible or put anybody down, but I've come across some channels that I'm just like, you know what? I know you have the passion. Maybe you can help somebody else who's better at this, being front facing, because being on camera is like on screen talent is that's what we call it in the industry, and that's what I see it as you know, when people are sitting down and talking and articulating their points and engaging people to the point that you do. And you know, it's just like not everybody can do it. So I feel like, you know, kudos to you. I think you guys are really, you're delving into something that a lot of people train years and years to be able to do. And I know you cut it down and you edit it, but believe me, I've been behind the camera where I've seen people who have years and years, decades of talent, and they're skipping lines, and they've had a script. They have a script and they still can't get it. And they're making thousands from that one shoot. And we're sitting here like, my gosh, we're gonna be sitting here all day listening to this person just jump over lines. It's a nightmare. So yeah, like it's not for everybody, but I'm glad that, you know, there is that space where people can, because we would, if it wasn't for this space, we wouldn't get to see you guys like doing what you do as well. And yeah, I love your channel. It's always my go-to. I'm like, let's see. And actually, you made a good point just when I came on. I think simply you're the one that made a really good point. You were like, sometimes when people search your channel, it doesn't come up. Every time I search Destiny's channel, though I'm subscribed, I still have to search it. It never gives me your actual channel at the top.
Yeah.
It just gives me a random video, and I don't know why it does that.
Yeah, sometimes they put something that has nothing to do with what you're searching for, and I'm like, why are you doing this? I'm looking for something specific, and it's different if you're just searching like a statement or like, you know, a word or whatever. But this is the person's channel name, like this is their name. Why are you showing something I'm not asking for? And then the person that I'm asking for is like all the way down. Like I have to scroll, and that's the thing that about the algorithm. People in this day and age, people's patience is not that, you know, they don't have a great attention span. So if I have to scroll 1, 2, 3 and I can't find what I'm looking for, some people are not gonna care anymore. Like they lose interest. So YouTube knows what they're doing sometimes. Like it could be like a shadow ban to where like they have to get your channel name down to the like the dots that's even in your name to be able to find you. And even then they're hiding, maybe because some of your channel is controversial, because at the end of the day, YouTube is a business. They have ads. If they can't put ads on your video, then you're not useful to them. So they're not gonna let people find you. So that's another thing to think about sometimes. Sometimes you want to make content, and if you're interested in being like ad friendly, and if you're not someone who's big enough to already have your own sponsorships, like to like brands sourcing outside of YouTube ads, then it's going to be very hard for YouTube to care about your content because you're not brand friendly, apparently, or whatnot. So that's another thing to think about. When
and then I also feel like there's probably there's definitely a bias towards African content creators as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely a bias towards African
And I
content.
feel like it's all platforms. All platforms.
Do you guys like on TikTok? Do you make money? Do you, I know on YouTube you should, and it's crazy to me that, you know, they haven't been able to monetize, because I look at all the brands that you have across Africa, and it's just like we have so many brands. I'm just sitting here like, why? Because in Zambia, the content creators are not monetized at all. Like you're doing it, on YouTube, nothing. We don't get any ads at all. Nothing at all.
Are you serious?
Nothing. Yet we have KFC. When I'm in the UK, I get KFC ads on YouTube, and we have KFC here. So I'm like, why can't brands? That's just one example.
Right,
Why can't those brands now be? We have Unilever. I get Unilever ads in the UK. Why can't those also be transferred? Because a lot of the, like, if you watch DSTV and stuff, a lot of those ads are those big brands. So these brands are also advertising on social media. They're advertising on television. So I don't understand. I think it's just another way of them not wanting African content creators to make money. That's
To
just
make
how I.
money.
That's how I feel.
Even when they do, there's usually that there's always the bots, it's always more stressful. See, I remember when my channel got monetized, that was 2019. It took, I waited 7 months for my pin, my Google pin. It didn't come. So I waited another 3 months. I had to reapply again because after 7 months, I wasn't getting it. I keep sending message to help. Nobody was answering me. I had to, and that means ad is already playing on my videos, but I cannot process it to get paid. 7 months. I did
Mm.
another 3 days. That is how long already. That's already 10 months. Is that not a year? Before
Right.
I could even get the pay to even get my channel monetized. So there's a lot of things, and then when you even do, like I was telling Simple, when you even do 30% every month is taking up your money.
That's 30% is crazy. I'm
So when
sorry.
you do super chat of $5, at the end of the day, I get $1.50.
That's another thing. Actually, I see a bunch of some other YouTubers that I follow that who do like streams and who have like Patreons or whatever. If you have like a Cash App or some other way that people can send you money, then you should promote that like on the live, because instead of doing the super chats, we can just Cash App you, and that all the money goes directly to you. I think that's a
But
better way because
but that's another, like we said, a lot of Africans is being the way what our system is being set up is to make us not to strive. I can have catch up. I can even have paper.
Yeah.
are you serious? There's
I'm
no way to
serious.
send money.
There's no
Oh
way
my
you can
goodness.
send. If I say if it's
Yeah.
not through the YouTube super chat, I can get the money. I can get the, oh, thank you. Except and I have to contact someone in the US to say, you know what, please help me with
Um,
catch up so that I can give to my audience. And when they do, the money has to go with that to that person first. Then
that
the
person.
person will not have to.
It has
You
to be
know,
somebody you
maybe.
trust.
One other way. I know it
Same thing.
might be a bit. It might be a bit more far fetched, but like Remitly, people can send directly to like a mobile money.
That's the thing. Those mobile money in Nigeria is being controlled. There's a lot of control in it. Then
Mhm.
secondly, once if you the sender, and I feel like if you want your audience to support you and all that, you don't want to also incur a burden on them. Because you the sender, you're going to pay a certain fee. It's not
Yeah,
for free. So you're
yeah,
going to pay a
yeah,
certain fee. And by the time you add the fee, you're already stressing the other person trying to say, yeah, I want to support you. You're already stressing the person already. When for
yeah,
a catch up, you just need an email and it's gone, or a PayPal, an email, and it's gone. So the way the system, and I did a video about this when I was doing a lot of things about Africa. The way the system is being set up, we have to work 10 times as hard as people abroad.
yeah.
And not even get as
Because the
much
system
compensation.
naturally is set for us to fail. Imagine as I'm doing, I have to go pick up a power bank. I have to. The other day we're doing like that. It was all in the darkness. We were here in the darkness, just chill, chatting and all that. So if you're not resistant and persistent about what you want, you just like, you know what, I'm done. And
You give
that's
up.
why the poverty rate in Africa keep increasing because not everybody will keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. Some days I film videos and I break down and I would cry. Like I wish like what is this? What is this? Like so now just like village people they have my time today. Sha village people we are doing full time on me, Abi.
Yeah.
If you guys notice my camera changed. I had to get a new camera. I had to claim my account to get a new camera out because the little camera I was managing, my card all of a sudden stopped working.
Wow.
Oh, are like village people. You are working full time on my matter right now. Do you understand? And if I'm not really want, like you said, have passion for what I do, like the fact that I'm not even going to show up for you people self, and my brain is not like honestly, you get your people are waiting for you, you have to give them. So because I had to like, you know what? My mother thought I was mad. I was like, I'm cleaning up this account, I'm getting this camera. Like, why is this camera stressing me? Why are you stressing me? But if I'm not, I could just say, you know what, I am not doing. You will not come and kill me. So the way the system is being set up, even our government, it's not
Mm.
easy. Like few months ago, even though the government is still rubbish, few months ago, you because YouTube, I have a dollar account because better they pay me in dollars so I can change in naira. Why some people have they are paid in naira? Google will do Google this thing. So, but I was wise enough then to because I already had a business I do with the US, so I had a dollar account, so it was just very easy to do that. There was a time in this a few months ago, as in few years back, just like it just broke like 3 months back now. You will go to the bank and want your money and say, you know what, I want to withdraw $100, and they will tell you there is no dollar. Your money that you work hard for.
Oh my
And
God.
sometimes they'll look at you and tell you, oh, we're going to give you $50. We don't have $100.
Oh my
There
God.
was a time there was even this panic going on that the federal government may just end up switching all our dollar accounts to naira.
What?
because, because no, because they
No
were not
way.
allowing us to withdraw money. We can't withdraw money. So we're just like, the way these people are going, we should not just wake up one day and say, dumb accounts, all your money is now in your naira account, yo. That would be so
Oh my goodness.
heartbroken. That would be so scary. So the way the system is just set up. So when oh Lord, what's wrong with this connection? Okay, it's back. The way
No,
the
you're
system
there.
is set up for in Africa,
Yeah.
no, it's hard. So when you see
It's
content
bad.
creators from Africa, like just like if you can support them and their content resonates with you and you enjoy it, try as much
Yeah.
and support them
Yeah.
because
Absolutely.
uh
You guys are going
like
through
people see the content creator Taya I know that just got a passport, and everybody like, oh, you do you know Taya I know?
I don't think I do.
Oh,
Let
please don't support my
me see.
guy. Even though I don't know him
To
in
put me
person,
on to something.
even though I don't know him in person, but he's an amazing content creator. He does travel, and by that time he was doing content to showcase Africa, the beauty in Africa, and all that. Amazing.
his channel is
He showed
really
the
good.
black
Oh,
His
part
no,
of
videos
I
it,
do
are
know who
but
so
that is. I
smart.
didn't know that was his name.
You need to watch it. He's so good. Like to me, he's the best on travel in Africa.
Yeah, I didn't know his name, but I knew his face.
what's wrong with the
I
connection?
hope
Don't
I
want me
hope
to
he's,
talk.
I
Don't want
hope
me
he's being paid handsomely.
to
Are you there? Yeah. Okay. No, you're still
And yeah,
there. You're still there. Yeah, you're still here.
back. Look at even connection. Connection is the problem. Like when it
This
happens,
is
like
it.
I have one here, and I have multiple. Like okay, you have to not don't trust one. They will just let you down.
will let you
So
down.
I just imagine you running three lines, three internet connection just to make sure you can upload content.
Yeah. I
Wow.
can imagine. It's like a day-to-day struggle, you know?
And
Like it's that's the problem. I think everything you said resonates so much, and I think it's so sad because content creators in Africa, some of them are in a position where they can make phenomenal content, but that incentive isn't there because all of the loopholes they have to jump through in order to
yeah,
actually get to a place
It's
where
more
they can
like
even create content. You know, it's already a time consuming activity, and then you have to add in the fact that, oh my gosh, now my internet connection, where will I upload? And you know, like uploading videos, it's not a small
it's
thing.
not small. It's
It
not small
takes
thing.
time.
Yeah.
hmm.
And then after all that, now you have to fight to make money. But then, you know, for me, I feel like what needs to happen is the larger content creators in Africa, the likes of
Oh,
please
I think
forgive
my
me because I
connection is
forgot her name,
acting.
the Kenyan girl who had the spat with Naomi Campbell recently. My gosh, I always forget her name. I totally forget her name. But yeah, that girl that had that spat, girls like or content creators like that who have now created larger platforms for themselves, they might just, and I hate to do this because I feel like it's not fair to always have to place this burden onto other people to champion things that they might not want to champion, especially for her, because I think her whole thing was get me the hell out of Africa, which is so sad because Africa is so beautiful and Kenya is so beautiful, and you can make content in Kenya, but I'm not going to judge her for her decisions, right?
Yeah.
But if those larger content creators can use their platform to push for these platforms to do right by generally the country, I can't imagine.
I'm going to defend. I'm going to defend them. I'm going to defend them because it's easier said than done when it comes to the way the political system in Africa generally is being set up. It's almost like get out if you can. It's almost like get out if you can. Because if you they're trying to, oh, let's advocate. How do you want to advocate? The people that you're advocating for, the power that be, they're bigger than you. Do you want them to hurt you? What do you want to advocate for?
I think not
It's
so
just
much
like
advocate for the government.
When they talk about
Not for the
power,
government.
the power condition in Nigeria. Nigeria supplies power to the nearest West African countries, to Togo, to Ghana, Benin.
Yeah.
Nigeria, we supply them electricity, and those countries have power 24/7. And then
You
I'll
guys
not
don't
say,
have.
okay,
Yeah.
I'll not say, okay, now I'm big, I have a voice, I have a platform. Until when you are done, finish, don't go and leave or go and buy your generator. They don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care. And
Yeah.
even if you say, okay, you want to build a platform and relationship with people, but the only time African countries care and listen is when there is an international influence on it. Like maybe big artists are drawing attention to it. That's why you see when anything happens in Africa, people always try to call big names outside the country, not in the country.
Yeah.
Because
That's true.
they don't really do anything. There's so much they can do. They only have influence at that point, but they can't do
Yeah.
anything.
No, you're
And
right.
when it comes to even working with brands, because sometimes if you even say, okay, like, okay, oh, let's say you put your channel, you're almost 50K, okay, start talking to brands and all that. You see the Nigeria Post Office boards, they will frustrate you.
Oh,
Just
my God.
to get the PR packages. But no,
Yes.
I agree. I do agree with what you're saying. But I think now, like even for me, I feel like it has to be outside of the government. Sometimes you just have to start talking directly to these companies. And you have to use the influential people who have the seat at the table to do that. Going through the governments is futile in Africa. The governments don't care. Like, forget about them. They don't give a shit. Nothing functions. For them, it's like, as long as we can appear as if we're still floating and we're still here, then
The
that's
Yeah.
appearance
it.
isn't even there. It doesn't even appear like they're doing anything.
They don't even
They just
exist.
care about money. The appearance is not there. Like, I'm sorry. And
They don't care. They don't care with whatever you're going through, sort yourself out. That's what, like,
Yeah.
just sort
yeah,
yourself.
it's unfortunate.
And even with brands, like imagine when, even with brands, you see even the Jackie I know, forever, Jackie I know is a Nigerian. She's influential. She has a seat on the table. Like Jackie I know comes to Nigeria, and yeah, people want to listen to her. Jackie I know cannot be shipped to Nigeria. Jackie I know, have you seen any Nigeria content creator that open a PR box of Jackie I know scandal? Because
No.
even brands, Nigeria brands outside, even Africa brands outside Africa, does not want to even work with Africans. Not because they
Yeah.
don't want to. It's the tedious process that they have to
It's
go
hard to
through to get through to those content creators. They rather just say, you know what, I'm not doing. And it's like that with those people, the big followings here. As much as they want the change, they can't really do much. Because how many holes when you go jump with that influence that you have? What he will tell you. By the time you're done, you're already exhausted. You don't even know what to do anymore. Hi, baby. You don't even know what to do anymore. So, like I said, this all that stacked against us. There's really so much we can do. So the little you can do is, I'm saying, support any African content creator. I'm not saying support everybody because not everybody is your cup of tea, but anybody that you feel like, guys, there's 21 of us here. Anybody you feel like you resonate with their content fits well with your tweets, support them because they're fighting with you. But They're pointing to their nail to get things out
Literally.
there. Every time they do, it's not easy. And that's how you guys go and check Jackie. What's that? What's his name? Tayo, I know. Because amazing, amazing African travel content. Tayo, I know, decided to buy a passport because the Nigeria passport, because he creates travel content around Africa, showcase Africa and all that. Even within Africa, he was being stressed. The odds were still stacked against him. He was being discriminated for being in Nigeria, in Africa. And what
Yeah.
he does is that what he's passionate about is creating travel content.
Mm-hmm.
And some people, you
And
see
this
some
is
people
it.
calling me out on Twitter, like, oh, because now you got a new passport, now you don't want us to hear what you are discriminating against Nigeria. You, like I said, the
Some,
situation is
Again,
sometimes it be
severe
your
now.
own people. Sometimes it be your own people, and it's so
literally
annoying because it's like, what does that have to do with anything?
anything.
If
It
you're
has
Actually,
down,
it
I
has
said
to
that I
out.
should come and stay
this
with you
guy
there or
is
what? Like, should I be miserable because something is doing you? Or people like, what's the problem?
and
He
what's
went
worse
to
is that
Ethiopia.
what
He
they're
went to
doing
Ethiopia. They
is
pat him down. They literally pat him down and said, because he's Nigerian, this way first.
Mm.
and he's not
So
the only
because
one,
he
you know.
went
I've seen
to the
other
country he wants to go to, just the thought of what will happen, he was just like, you know what, I don't think I'm going. Maybe I don't think I want to create this content. The frustration. And he saved up and he bought himself a passport and everybody are saying he's not, and you are not supporting Africa anymore. So to come and still support you people that frustrate him.
Right.
my gosh. You can't win. You can't win. And you know the funny thing about it is that Africa is one of the continents that first of all it's very expensive to travel to Africa. So you find that it's very difficult. It's a hard sell. One, we have the worst PR already globally, period. As a
Mm-hmm.
people and as a continent, everybody assumes that Africa bad. That's it,
Yeah.
right? Unless they're wealthy and they're coming to safari, which is what
Mm-hmm.
even here in Zambia, that's what we get a lot of. We get a lot of the middle to upper class. Those are the ones that can afford to come,
The
right?
tourist.
And then we also get the burden of paying stupid amounts for the tickets. I'm always looking at the fact that aviation is so expensive in Africa. For me to leave Zambia right now and come to you, Destiny, in Nigeria, I would have to get on a donkey, ride a dolphin, do all these things,
You know,
and pay an arm and a leg. Right now, I'm
The
an
ticket
hour and a
that
half
will
away
take you
from
to
South
the UK.
Africa. I
The
have to
ticket that
pay
will take you
six
to the UK.
hundred dollars to get there.
The ticket that will take you to the UK is what will bring you to Nigeria.
I
Make it
mean, the
make sense.
same
yeah.
thing.
I've actually,
When
yeah.
I was here last time, I was invited to come to a film festival in Kenya, and I remember when I looked at the tickets, I just said, "Hey, you know what? I've
Like,
just come from the UK. The same price that carried me 13 hours from the Queen's land to come here, from Queen Elizabeth II's land to come back to my ancestors. I must pay to
Mm.
go 2, 3 hours away. I must pay the same amount." I was like, in my country, we say, "Mouve pelefie." I can't even get the word now. "Mouve pelefie," which is you are lying. There's
But
no way. I ended up not going. It's a
that
joke.
brings me that it's just so that we don't prosper among ourselves. They make
This
the
is it.
transition, moving around, doing business together, striving. It's just
Yep.
crazy being
It's
here.
hard. It's
It's
hard.
just
It's
crazy.
so hard.
Going to Ghana, you're spending ticket money. Going within Europe, from the UK to Paris, you're spending £50, £40.
I flew £60 I paid from London Stansted to Milan. £60. Return. Return.
From Nigeria to
And
Ghana, from Nigeria to Ghana, you pay $200. It's
jeez.
a
You
one
see
hour
what I
flight.
mean?
1 hour flight. 1 hour flight. 1 hour
It's so
flight.
bad. And you see, this is why I look at the African airlines and I'm like, you guys are also failing. I get it. The problem is the taxes. The taxes are so expensive that they're not able to give us a reasonable price. I remember when WizKid came to Zambia, you know, he had to get on I don't know how many different planes. He even arrived late and it was like a big, big event. He arrived late. He had to even do a makeup show the next day in the afternoon before he flew out to go somewhere else. And it was just a nightmare. And I'm just sitting here thinking, my gosh, can you imagine? This is someone inside of Africa, inside. Why do we do this to ourselves?
The thing that is, I'm really, usually very, when I talk about the problem that we have in Africa is still colonization.
Yep.
It's still colonization.
Definitely.
It's still, whether we like it, whether we want to accept it or not, the white people still have stronghold on the continent. They still control the continent. The policy in the continent, they control it, they navigate it, it's
Absolutely.
still on them. So as much as we want our leaders to step up to the plate, there's so much they can do.
But they won't.
But
To say
that's
what
the
these
problem.
people, we are handicapped, there's nothing we can do.
Yeah.
If you go, I think I've asked this question here before. A lot of African countries that gain independence don't know the trivial laws that were signed to gain the independence.
Independent.
Those
And if you
treaties.
go against it, they can sanction you.
Yeah. Zimbabwe, all these different ones. Because as soon as Mugabe got pissed off, and trust me, I'm no fan of him. As soon as he got pissed off with the foreign minister or whatever, they put this young girl there, and she was not willing to do certain things that they had agreed to. Immediately that happened. My gosh, boom. Thanks. He went rogue. They went rogue on him, and that's the problem. But you see, my issue now that I'm having with Africa, right? As much as I know that the West still has a massive stronghold on Africa, we have leaders who are allowing it. I'm at a point where I'm like, burn everything down if it means they keep holding on to us. Burn it down.
Okay, okay, this is, and that's why I said it runs deep, and that's why if you go back to my content from last year down to 2022, I was doing a lot of pro-black content, and I was, I could not because my channel was targeted. No, but that's what I'm saying. That when you try to now educate other Africans, but whether you like it or not, even we as black people, it's a very few percentage of us that don't feel a certain way around the white person
Hmm.
because we are naturally raised to feel inferior next to them.
To them.
Let me tell you a story of what
That,
happened to me when I was in ShopRite about
yeah.
a month ago. I was in ShopRite and I was in the vegetable section, and I went to go and I wanted to buy something and I couldn't find it. And then the guy, so the way that we have in ShopRite, it's like once you get the veggies, you have to give it to the attendant that is in the vegetable section, and then they'll price it for you. They'll weigh it and then they'll price it for you, right? So I pick up what it is that I want. I think it was peppers. I make eye contact with the guy because he was standing just behind the other side. So I make eye contact with him, right? I say, "Oh, I have the peppers. Can you come?" He now starts making his way over to the over to the scale. As he gets there, there's a white man who comes from my left. I'm standing directly in front of the guy, the greengrocer guy, right? In front of him. The white guy comes and he's like, "Oh, am I supposed to get this scanned here?" This guy knew he was supposed to get it scanned there. And then the guy says, "Yes." You know what this guy did? He took he took the white man's vegetables and scanned them right in my face, and then gave them to him, and the white man went on his business, right? I was stunned and I wanted to say something in the presence of the white man, but I was like, you know what? I actually don't care about him. He has his own complexes. He's already been told that he's a god. We call them Bwana. Bwana translated, I think, means God.
Yeah.
But we say Bwana is like boss, right? Very derogatory. And so I turned to the guy. I said, "Let me tell you something. You know that if you were in Europe, there is no way that that white man would ever have served you before his own person. You know that, right? You saw me standing here before that white man came, and you still made it a point to serve him very comfortably. You didn't even see any issue with it. You took the vegetables and you scanned his vegetables before mine, despite the fact that I was the one that got your attention and got you to come back to the scales, right?" And he said, "Oh, luckily there was another woman that was behind him, and she came, and as I was speaking, she said, 'That girl is absolutely correct.' She said, 'She's so right.' She was like, 'If you were in Europe, there's no way that that man would serve you before he would serve his own.' especially if his own was already standing there before you. And it's this mentality. And I even said to him, I was like, you know what? The problem is, you guys, Mwarikwata, inferiority complex, Yaba Zungu, which is like you guys have an inferiority complex for white people. You think that you value Aba Zungu more than you value your own. You value those white people more than you value your own. And I see it so much, and it frustrates me. And every time I make such a point, first of all, to never make white people in Zambia feel like they are more superior to me or anybody. And they seem to always know who to misbehave in front of. They usually don't. It's usually me hearing stories after the fact or situations where I'm not there that I'm like, oh, I wish I was there. My gosh, if I had been there, it would have been so different. But it makes me angry that I see my own people have this inferiority complex towards, and they value what they, even when they hear me speak, they hear my British accent and they place such a value on me just because I sound like a white person.
Yeah.
Which is like a white person has come.
Let me bust your head. There are schools in Nigeria. There are schools in Nigeria that teaches the children in the schools to have a British or an American accent.
Jeez.
Because why is that? Why is that? Because in society, once you have a British accent, you have an American accent, and you are in society, you have your own privilege.
And it's true. That privilege, it actually
you have your own privilege. Yeah, you have your own privilege. And this is why I said it runs deep. Like, it runs deep. That inferiority complex. And the more when you see Black creators try to, especially African creators, try to share more light on this and try to educate more Africans. I know these people are not better than you. Honestly, they're just human beings like you, having 24 hours and breathing the same air you're breathing. There's nothing special. They're just human beings. The more you try to, and that's the fear. So you were talking about all African countries, just let them sanction us, let's be on our own, we can survive on our own. That fear runs deep because we are told we cannot stand on our own, even though we own everything they used to build their own countries. We are told the same way they want to collect. You see, an average white person wants to tan. I remember this February, myself and my friend Maria, she's a content creator. You guys go support Maria David. We did the same type of content. Amazing girl. We went out on a girl's trip, and you love her. Like, our energy is different, but you love her. She's also amazing. So we went out on a trip. We saw this white woman literally rubbing shea butter on her skin to be dark. To be dark. This woman is already her skin. This one is not. She was burnt. We're in our room just looking like not be already this woman they rub for body. She was so dark that like she was wearing a bikini. She was rubbing the ori like this. Then she would not sit on the sun like this. Put her back to be fine. And you know, oil makes your skin even darker.
Makes your skin darker. Yeah, it does.
They want everything we have, but yet we are not good enough.
This is it. And we don't value what we have.
Exactly. So it's the thing they put here. So even people that have children, just said, parents now are teaching their children how to have a British and American accent. So how do you want to tell that child now that the white man is just a human being? That your Nigerian accent is a problem. The same Tayo that I just talked about, there was a time Tayo went viral on Twitter because people were telling him that you could have gone places if not only for your accent.
Who was that?
Why you sound like a bushman?
Who?
Because he has an Nigerian accent.
Who was that?
Okay, the entire internet actually, the entire African continent was coming for him like this. Like
who were they saying that to? I missed who that was about.
Travel vlogs. That guy said those travel vlogs.
Hey.
But it sounds so Nigeria. Like when you hear it, you say, this is Nigeria. It sounds so Nigeria. I've had people on my channel tell me, Destiny, I don't understand what you're saying. Can you polish your English a little bit? I'm not going to change my accent for anybody. This is how I'm not going to come and say, and when I was growing up as a child, I was made to think, oh, talk that way. But the thing is that's what it is. I did media. The crazy thing is that honestly, I actually practice the American accent. I can do it to a large extent, but I've lost it because I did a mass communication in the uni. So I was trying to get into the media space, and that's why I'm passionate about YouTube. Some people feel like I just came on YouTube because that's what everybody is doing. No, I'm a TV girl. As a child,
Yeah.
I was that child. I would put my younger ones in front, and I'm reading newspaper that I cannot read. But anyway, I remember trying to get into the media space in Nigeria when I just graduated fresh out of college from university. Oh, I need Summit TV and all that. I remember I went to this radio station. I'm not going to call it. They are very big in Nigeria. They have one in Port Harcourt, and my sister was in Port Harcourt, so I went there to stay with her. She was like, "Oh, she knows somebody that can help there." I got there. I did the interview. Like you guys can see, I am fluent when I speak. It's radio. It's radio. I didn't get the job because I don't have an accent. Because
Wow.
everybody coming out like, "Hey, welcome to the name. Call Alpha Martin." Yeah,
And
Yeah,
Lord,
and
you know that makes me cringe because
that's
there's
what
a
I was
lot.
just about to say because it
It's
doesn't
so
sound right. It
cringe.
just you can
It
tell
doesn't.
that it's not real. And the funny thing is, like when I was growing up, this specific thing, like I don't know if you've heard in Destiny in Nigeria about like the Yoruba nation or whatever. And
yeah.
I find them very funny to me because now they're trying to integrate, Yoruba, the language and all that. But I very much remember growing up how my mom we used to like slap my mouth if I spoke either pidgin or Yoruba. If I was speaking anything that's not English, it would be a problem. Now I'm like 20. I'm 25 now. 25 years later, now you're saying, "Hey, you people don't know how to shake it." And I'm like, whose fault is that? You literally were teaching your kids about somebody else's language when we have how many plenty language in just that one Nigeria alone, let alone the whole of Africa. But you wanted to colonize your own kids, and now you're mad that they are
That you guys
westernized
don't
and this
know.
and that.
This
You
is
don't
it.
even. And granted, I understand why you send your kids abroad, but you send them to somebody else's country to go to school. What indoctrination do you expect to come from that? Like, it's just it's a very deep rooted issue because I don't understand why somebody needs to have an American accent to be
Mm-hmm.
taken seriously. Is the English not the same English? Are we not saying the same thing? I don't understand like why. And
No.
now some people are now having buyer's remorse that oh
Mm-hmm.
if only I knew and this and that and the third. At this point, for some of the kids, it's too late. This is something that's been happening since how long ago, and you'll be slapping your children because they're speaking the language. For me, I didn't learn how to speak. I just knew how to speak Yoruba to
Yeah.
this very day. Thankfully, it's not something I learned. It literally just I feel like it was downloaded in my head, like from my mother's womb. It's just something I knew how to speak and understand. But for some reason I can't. It
English.
just doesn't feel normal. It didn't feel normal to me. So
Yeah.
I don't understand like why everything that is not African or everything that's white or is always glorified, even down to the color of your skin, like the bleaching
Mm-hmm.
problem that we have, not just in even here. Like it just it will take us to fight for ourselves
This
because
is it.
white people do not give they don't care. They're not
No.
going to fight for people who they want to be seen as below them to now rise
Mm-hmm.
above them. They know
This
it's
is
very
it.
much possible, which is why they try every single avenue to stop it, and
Yeah.
we're allowing them to.
Mm-hmm. You
It's
know
it's
what?
insane to
Everything you
me.
just said, simply like I'm so one thing I moved to the UK when I was 4. I'm so envious of the fact that you still speak Yoruba. I just about retained one language which I understand, but I can hardly speak. And I don't speak, so you guys have pidgin, we have nyanja, which is like the general vernac that most people will speak regardless of where you go. Maybe there's certain regions, if you go more rural, they won't necessarily speak nyanja, they'll speak their own vernac. And we have like 75 different dialects and tribes, so it's like a melting pot, right? And that's one thing. My older siblings, they all speak, except for me and my sister because we were so young. And honestly, my mom, I was raised in the UK, but I was raised in an African house inside the
Yeah,
UK. Everything about my upbringing was African. my siblings all moved back home. And I even remember moving back. I've had other Zambians say to me, why would you want to go back to Zambia? Like,
Is that not where I
like
came
they look
from?
down
Okay.
on me for wanting to come back home. And I'm literally sitting here like perplexed. You guys, some of them literally were just like me. They were born in Zambia, left when they were young. And I'm just sitting here like, there is no greater place for me than where my ancestors used to walk at all, period. Like, I
Yeah.
will never feel at home the way that I feel at home here. I would, everyone's always like wondering, like, oh, but you could, but you can be in the UK. You're British. Why would you even want to come back here? And I get a lot of pushback, and I get ostracized a lot here by other Zambians because they feel like if I had the opportunity you had to get the hell out of here, I
I
would
will not
leave
come
and I
back.
would never look
Yeah.
back. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I can understand. I get it. Like life is tough, right? But at the same time, I feel like has been. Did not have an easy life in the UK growing up. I did not. It was very tough. I grew up white white suburbia, and I was racially bullied in school to the point where I literally had to
Same.
move schools. Like I was taunted for being black. I was called everything under the sun. I was made to feel like I shouldn't value myself. But where I was fortunate was I grew up in a household with a very African mother, and my mom was like, "Listen, who you are is literally the best thing ever. Like you are the blueprint." I didn't even know what colorism was until I moved to London. I've never had an issue. Like if I could be darker, I would. I look like my ancestors. I'm Ila. I'm Ila from Southern Province in Zambia, from Namwala. And my people, the women, I remember there was an aunt of mine that looked at me. She said, "My gosh, this girl, I haven't seen her in years. Look at her. She looks just like Umu Ila Uyu," which is like this Ila girl. And I
Yeah.
look like how my ancestors look. Please, my mom would kill me for talking like this with this blonde wig on, but I wish I could take it off right now. I'm not going to take it off my head. It's just a damn wig. I just had my own hair. This is protective styles and all that. But yeah, like I'm so proud to look how I look and be who I am. I could not be any more proud. If I could die 100 times and come back the same person that I am now, I would. I'm so proud of who I am and what I look like and being African. I've never felt inferior to anybody or anything. And I wish that I could impart the way that I feel about myself onto other Africans, because the pride has to come before us actually valuing ourselves enough to get ourselves up out of the situation that we're in. No one is going to save Africa. We have to save Africa ourselves, as cliche
Yeah.
as it sounds. But it's up to us to do the work. It really is up to us. We need to stop looking to the West and this one and that one. No one is going to save you, Africa. You have to
Yeah.
save yourself.
Nobody's coming.
But they don't know that. That's the thing. Like they don't know that. I like when you try to have this conversation with other Africans in Africa. Those of you that grew up abroad, you have a different. You are with the white people, so you know how sided some of them can be, and
Mm.
all that. People have had your experience with them, so you both move accordingly. Okay, but you see, those of us here,
It's
they
this
are
glorification. Yeah.
they are
It's the
brainwashed.
glorification that I don't understand.
And all. They like, and that is so like it's inside us. It's inside us. It takes like sometimes when I look at it, I was like, when I was creating those pro-black type of content and all that, I got a lot of pushback from a lot of African Americans saying that, oh, Destiny, Hutch, don't talk about our issues. Our issues are none of your issues. Face the African issues. And I was trying to explain to one, I was like, a lot of Africans need to see, because they need to be able to identify it. They need to see the relationship because they cannot add the one plus one together.
Yeah.
They need, you sound like, what the? I don't
What?
want to talk about. I don't know. My brain is numb. You sound like Mumu Fresh Warrior. I don't know. I know it's not inside. I think she's trying to say something. She's not. She was in the chat already before. Let me put it so you. I think she was saying I sound like somebody, an artist or something.
Now I gotta go search
So
up what new fresh royal freestyle and remix it.
yeah.
I'm so
So
sorry. I really did not want to to disturb you guys or anything. I was just going to add something to what you were saying because I literally made an entire video specifically about this, and I wanted to just add one thing. So one thing that you will notice throughout history with inferiority complexes is that it's really not just Black people. In fact, there was a time when there have been in history many Africans who have traveled, who were all over the world. Some of them were even in prominent positions, even
Oh,
in
can you
the
speak
Roman
up?
Empire.
Sorry, there's a lot of noise here. Please, it's like, please. I want to be in the
Sorry.
conversation.
I'm
I
sorry.
can't really hear. Your voice is low. I can't really hear you.
Oh, I'm so
Please,
sorry. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay.
just increase your volume a little bit. A little, increase it.
Okay.
Mhm.
I am so sorry. I did not realize my. I hope that it's good now. If you can hear me now, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm using my phone
Okay.
to hear you. Yeah.
Okay, so basically, all I'm saying is that one thing that really does affect this inferiority complex is the fact that when is also the economic situation. Imagine that a person grows up, no matter how much you would want to impart, a feeling of confidence in a child and everything. If they grow up only seeing that white people are their teachers, white people are their parents' bosses, white people are the police, white people are always in a position of authority, in throughout their entire childhood, and even when they grow up, they're always going to grow up with an idea associating a certain skin color to success and to positive things, and associating another skin color, which is their own, to things that are very negative. Can you still hear me, by the way?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that this has been something that has existed throughout history, all over. In fact, even in Europe, among Europeans themselves, this was the case. The British, when the Roman Empire was still very prominent, sometimes British royals would send their children over to Rome just to, to acquire knowledge and see the Roman lifestyle. And usually Romans would actually take advantage of that so that they can kind of indoctrinate them into that and kind of start influencing them on their side. A person in the chat just mentioned religion as well, and that is also an important part. Imagine
Yeah.
that everyone, including your teachers, now even your own God, literally is
Right.
represented as a white person. People think of God all over the world, you just say God. Well, whenever they talk about the Christian God, you think of a white dude with a
White
beard.
man.
You think of you think of Jesus. You think of a white dude with a very young
Long
white dude and
hair.
everything. These things, yeah, people think that these things don't affect them, but every psychological thing, no matter how much you want to talk to people, tell them that no, you should be confident in your appearance and in your own ethnicity. The reality needs to change. So what I was just going to, not to take long, but what I was just going to say is that this becomes cyclical, because if Black people are not in those positions where they're not, they're not, for example, they are not very much represented in astrophysics or this or that, or in positions of authority in companies. We will not see the reality of that. If they're too associated with, for example, sports and hip hop and stuff, people will think that's the only thing we can do, and that's obviously not true.
Mhm.
So the thing is
Right.
that I believe that it needs to change. And whenever people have had a change in their inferiority complexes with their ethnicities, whether it's the Italians in America or the Jews in Europe and everything, it had to do with the economic situation. When their economic situation changed and they now had people of their own ethnicity rising up economically, living in great houses and taking care of each other as a community, they started to have a better perception of themselves. Their children and their next generation also began to do that. So the reason why I said it's cyclical is because I know you guys said it very well, that I know that it's very, very much easier said than done to say, no, stay in Africa and invest in Africa. I'm Congolese, by the way. So I know what you're talking about. The power going out all the time, and walking in, you get into your own country and people treat you like crap when the Europeans are over there, and in the same queue they have a special queue for the Europeans over there, and they say no, 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 viens ici, toi tu viens ici, toi tu restes là. And me, I'm over there, and I'm Congolese in my own country, and I'm being treated like dirt. These things are realities, but the problem is, if we continue to leave, to go to the north, to go to the
Right.
western country and everything, it will just keep getting worse. In my country, for example, right now we are experiencing a terrible brain drain, because our most educated and our wealthiest are all in Europe, and that is why whenever you see especially test scores for children and stuff, especially in the UK and France and everything, you'll find that a lot of the children who have who achieve very well usually are foreign, from African countries. That is
Yeah.
because their parents are usually very wealthy, very well educated, and everything, and so they will be educated too. But then now the children back home, what are they left with? They're only left with manual labor and to suffer. So as difficult as it is, and I know that it is, because even for myself, right now I'm in South Africa, even though I'm Congolese, and it's because things are better here. I know that it's not difficult, but I think that there needs to be a movement where we go back and invest in our own countries. You're absolutely right that
I
we're
agree.
the only ones who can save ourselves, and then everything else will also fall into place. If just a thing, I have a lot more details on this inferiority complex in that video, but I think that is something that people should also consider.
You said
Thank you
it.
so much.
That
That's
was
good.
very well said. That was really good. I really want to watch your videos now. Like I'm gonna
Okay.
need you to drop that comment, bro. Because this is the type of content that I like, to watch. And I hope they're also like long form videos
Mm.
so that
Oh,
it
they
can,
are. They're like
yeah.
40 minutes, 30 minutes,
Oh,
1 hour.
perfect.
The
I'm
last
sorry.
one I
I
did,
love long
yeah,
form videos.
yes,
And
yeah, I
it
did.
was very well articulated. Like that was really good. And everything you said was 100% like true about how, yes, it's hard, but then it's also like, these conversations are where like a starting point, like between people like us and like-minded individuals. Because honestly, like if you ask me, besides, we need to save ourselves and all that, like politically, economically, I'm not very well versed on that, but I know that is definitely where it needs to start. And conversations like these can definitely spread from economics to entertainment to media. Media and entertainment in Africa is probably one of the very biggest openings that we have to, showcase, how
Yeah.
great we are. And I really appreciate that. But we also need to do, expand it to other areas like mathematics, like you said, physics, science and all that. Because we have here in America, like, Black women in STEM, Black people in STEM and all that, because, those things are what shapes countries, like subconsciously, in my opinion. So I really appreciate your take on that. And even with the white Jesus situation, like, I don't understand how people can read the Bible where they say Jesus had brass skin and hair like wool and still create a depiction of a white man with long blonde hair. Like, I don't understand. Excuse me. I don't get it. And even though I'm a Christian, I still don't like, discriminate against traditionalism, because I also find it very important. And I feel a lot of spirituality is very important as well. So it's like we don't just throw away religion that we've already practiced way before white people introduced religion to us. And even in Africa, Christianity was a thing as well, but I don't think it was branded the way, the colonizers tried to, brand it to us, as a
Um,
thing of power and control.
I personally, I really don't like talking about religion because most Nigerians are either Christian or Muslim. But I was raised in a Christian. My mom is still a very strong Christian. I'm married into a very strong Christian family. But if we go back to some of my old videos, I took some of them down. But that was some of the things that my channel was being noticed for. A lot of the times, a lot of Christians, like if you ask a lot of Christians the origin of Christianity that they practice and hold so strong to their heart, a lot of them don't know.
They
And I
don't
remember
know.
I was having a conversation with, I call her my second mother-in-law. She's a reverend. That's how strong Christianity I am in the people around me. And I remember she was like, "Oh, you don't come to church." And I sat her down and I was like, and I said, "Mommy, you want it to be like, I'm not going to be emotional about it. We're going to talk facts now. Where did Christianity start from? Was it the same Christianity that they were using to keep women shut?
Right.
Before Christ? Isn't that Christianity you're telling me I should embrace?" And she was like, I said, "No, let's not get emotional. Let's speak facts. This is in history book. The white man documented it. The same this Christianity, women were not allowed to speak when a man is speaking. The same Christianity was the same thing they brought to us, and they took our land, and they still have our land. And you want me to own up to it? The same Christianity. And even if you go to the Nigeria history, which was never taught in the Nigeria educational system, the person that named Nigeria, it was his girlfriend that named Nigeria. The Lord God thing that they talk, like the Lord God that named Nigeria and all that. They actually told the dad said, give them something to believe in so that we can come in. And the thing they gave us to believe in was religion.
Was white Jesus.
Religion has
And
been
I was taking this little history because I was like, when anybody comes with me, especially my family members come with, oh, why you don't go to church? Why you're not being a Christian anymore? Because I say both. Everybody knows I'm not a Christian. I'm a religious person. I believe in God, but don't leave me under something that. And I keep telling them, I said, the white man you know now, what makes you feel like he will give you something to prosper you? Somebody that wants to keep us there. Why are you taking something? How do you trust what he gave to you? Why are you
Mhm.
trusting it? Somebody that came to take our ancestors and put them on slave ships to go. Why do you trust that thing he gave to you and said that's the thing that will save you? Why do you trust it so much? You hold it so much, and a lot of the way it's been practiced in Africa is that it's been blinded because a lot of them, when you bring out facts, history facts, they don't even know. They'll tell you,
Even
like no, this is
even
I'm
things in
not
the
being.
Bible that refute those claims, like if you not even looking at history, if you read the Bible itself, it's not the way that it was packaged. The Bible itself refutes a lot of.
interpreted it
Yeah, if you
differently.
they just yeah they didn't allow you to be able to read, so you didn't know how to read, so you couldn't
Mhm.
see it for yourself that these people were lying to you, and they're just using it as excuse. Like I read the narrative of Frederick Douglass, and when I realized like a lot of the reasons that they were able to do stuff like that is because of Christianity, and they kept people ignorant so that they don't find out for themselves that these things are not the way it seems.
Can I, can I say something? Can somebody that is a Christian here, if there's any Christian in the house, tell me one part of the Bible that condemns slavery?
No,
Did you
no.
say
The
what
thing is
part?
that no, no, no. What
One,
part of the Bible? The
one
thing
part,
is,
any part, any quote of the Bible that
yeah.
condemns
Okay.
slavery.
So the thing is that in the Old Testament, right, slavery was literally a thing. No,
Yeah.
throughout the world, it existed and everything. And the people of the time who literally believed in Judaism, well, Judaism as it has existed at the time, just went along with it. There is not a single verse in the Bible that condones slavery or tries to abolish it. In fact, what happens is the Bible and the Bible. Slavery was so ingrained in Hebrew society that God or Moses actually put laws in place to be able to regulate it. And the way that they regulated it was that basically all Hebrews were allowed to have slaves, but they had to be taken from non-Hebrew nations. So basically, you have slaves everywhere else, but you can't make slaves of each other. And also some slaves, so there were other rules like slaves need to be freed after 49 years, blah, blah, blah. But it does not make say anything against slavery. Now, in the New Testament, you would think that, okay, well, Jesus is there, things are a bit more peace and love and everything, but
Right.
that's not the case either. Yeah, it's definitely not the case because Paul, he says that he actually encourages slaves and servants to obey to their masters and say that it's only temporary. When we get to heaven, we'll all be free. But right now, you're enslaved. So people use that, especially slave owners in the United States, use these kind of verses in their favor. And the reality is that that's how they were intended. Nobody was against slavery. So I would say that, but I wanted to say something about religion in general. The thing about it is that as long as you can get people to accept an authority, right, 100%, then that's all that matters to people who want to control others. So if you have something like religion, especially something as powerful as religion, people are willing to die for their religion. So if you have something like religion that brings fear into people, you can use that to literally convince them of anything. You can literally have that to convince them that the color of your skin means that you're cursed, which is what Mormons at some point believed. You can convince them that slavery is justified. You can convince them that genocide is justified. You can convince them of anything. So religion, I respect people who will who are Christian and everything, and I respect that. But I just want to be careful with how it is used against
Yeah.
populations.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
if I could just quickly jump in, I'm like you, Destiny. I believe in God. I believe in the sanctity of life. I have a relationship with God. I don't believe my relationship with God has to exist in a church. I do not believe in organized religion. I no longer subscribe to it, and I have no interest in it. Organized religion, I'm going to speak in the African context because that's what we've been talking about, this evening. Um, organized religion has literally been the main catalyst in why Africa is in the state that it's in now, and it continues to be in the state that it's in now because of organized religion. If it was not for Christianity and this idea that, Zambia, we like, I'll speak in my country's context, which I know kind of spreads across the continent. This idea that Zambia is a Christian nation has to be the biggest joke running right now. We call ourselves a Christian nation. It's something that's always pushed. Everything, there's no separation between state and church. Everything, we used to actually have our previous dictator, mini baby dictator, he didn't fully come to fruition because he was pushed out. But he formed the Ministry of Religious Affairs, and that ministry was just another avenue to steal money and to basically push this fake morality in Zambia. I could step out right now. I live quite centrally. I can go to any bar right now, and I will find married men in there with their rings on their fingers and sitting with their girlfriends who are probably half their age, some maybe even underage. That's a very common sight in Zambia. It's pretty much accepted. We're also a nation of alcoholics. Everybody's always drunk. You're either an alcoholic or you're like an extreme Christian who just goes to church and you completely condemn alcohol. We are morally in a very bad place, but we're still a Christian nation, right? And anyway, those are just little extra tidbits. But the reality of it is the actual core values of religion have been why we have the rise of these papas, these churches with these papas who are literally scamming young people, everybody into, and it's so sorry. This is like such a triggering topic for me. It's one I can talk about, but it just makes me so incredibly angry that, like even Desmond Tutu said, when they came with the Bibles, they gave us the Bible and said, let us pray. We looked down, all of us looked down. When we looked up, they had the land and we had the Bible. If a man of God can say that, what more? And that is literally what has happened with organized religion in Africa. People have this stupid, and with all due respect, I'm not saying Christianity is stupid. I'm just saying that to follow something so blindly that has never, ever historically benefited you in any way, shape, or form is absolutely nonsense.
You leave it for God. You leave it for God. God will take care of the end. Just leave it.
That's exactly the thing.
Yeah.
In poverty, because God will find a way. You're sitting in poverty.
God will fight for you. You don't need to fight.
They want to utilize the education that someone is offering you and your kids in order for you to actually excel and do something with your life, so that you're not just sitting and wallowing in poverty. No, God will provide. God helps those that help themselves. Did you miss that part of the Bible or what?
So, sorry, can you guys hear me? Just to make sure I change
my rant is over. Sorry, but yeah, I don't believe in organized religion. Me and God, we're good, but the church stuff, they keep it.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just wondering if my sound is okay, because I try to fix the problem.
To me, you're very low though. That's every time you're talking, I'm like this.
No, I don't know. I think it was better before for me.
It was better before.
Oh, it was better before. Okay,
Yeah.
let me.
Better before. Now it sounds like it might only be on one channel, either left or right, but before it was on
both.
Is it okay now? Is it okay now?
It sounds better.
Hello.
Oh, that's a bit better.
As long as it's better,
better.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah. By the way, I agree with everything that you just said. The thing is, this is a African-wide problem. Well, at least sub-Saharan African-wide problem. There was a video actually that somebody put out recently. Not recently, but I saw a video where it showed a burning building, like a building that's on fire and everything in Europe, and how they were sorting it out. With firemen and stuff. And then there was a building on fire in, I think it was Nigeria, where, a whole lot of ministers and stuff started waving their fingers.
They were praying.
And yeah, they were praying. the thing is, the thing
Speak to
is
his
that
tongue.
obviously when I see that, the thing is that obviously we get embarrassed and we're all there, and I don't like to compare us to others. I don't think it's very helpful. But what I do need to compare to we do need to help ourselves with is to decolonize our minds from these ideas that we know are keeping us back, like what you just said with the whole God will provide and stuff like that. It really is a real thing. People do not take action because they are controlled by these things and we're being held back. Oh, by the way, I wanted to also just say what you said, simply EL. Sorry, I think that's your name, right? Simply EL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My name is actually Esther. So you guys can start calling me Simply. But yeah, my name is
All
Esther. You
right.
guys can call
That's
me
why
Esther.
your YouTube channel name. I'm not calling. It's your YouTube channel name I'm calling. They have to know your channel summary,
Oh yeah,
like
yeah,
stuff
All
like
okay.
right.
Yes, I'm Simply L or Simply L.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So I was going to say that what you said is also very true about the way to start getting off of the inferiority complex in the sense of spreading the information and starting here with like entertainment and stuff. It doesn't people who are Africans who are studying and becoming more successful. Of course, that is very important for us to do. But for them to actually realize that we have a problem and for them to invest, I'm not trying to demean that we do need to spread the information. So what we're doing here on YouTube is also very important. So I just wanted
Yeah.
to add that because you said that it's very s- everything that anybody that you come across. The other day, for example, because you guys were what you were saying, the prod. What's your name? The prod. Sorry. The
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, you can just call me the prod. It's fine, or you can call me
okay.
she. It's fine.
Okay. So, what you were the example as the story that you gave is so common because here I live in South Africa, right? So over here there is actually South Africa is the country with the greatest amount of well, white people in Africa. As the second, I think, is Namibia and so on and so forth. And over here you can see the dynamic very very clearly. I've gotten so used to going to a cashier, giving the money, the way that they greet me, they don't even look at me. They just like, yeah, whatever and everything. There's a white person behind me. The white person comes, and all of a sudden it's, oh, good morning, sir. How are you? May I please let me help you and everything?
Mhm.
And for me, it's like, and usually I turn back. One sometimes I actually kind of sometimes I actually confront them about that, and I tell them, how can you treat me so differently, so blatantly and everything? And sometimes they'll just be there. But one thing that I did notice is because you'll notice that it also goes back to economics sometimes. Sometimes they get a tip from actually, being kind of nice. They know that Black people don't tip as often as they usually do, but that's because life is hard out here. It's rough. I don't have money to give you money for something that you're
White
supposed to be
people too
doing all the
don't tip.
time.
I disagree with that one. I disagree. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
that's actually
disagree.
true.
White we
Yeah.
white people, white people. I think we as black people. I feel like I know sometimes. I feel like we black people we even give more than the white people. I feel like we give more. They only give you when they have something to collect from you. It's just how they are. Even among themselves in Europe, they only give what, and that's why when you come to like when you see people come from abroad and you see a Nigerian like take you out and spending money, it's abnormal because they are ready to divide everything to the last cent.
Yeah.
So I disagree with the one like, oh, you are giving tips. They are not giving tips. It's just that inferiority complex because he's a white man. They've collected the currency they are collecting from the white man is the possibility to be with a white man, to be able to talk to a white man, to stand next to a white man. That is
Hmm.
the coins. That is the money they are collecting. Just but you don't see as African just even standing and snap a picture with a white man. Ah, you have arrived, yo.
It's a big
You have
deal.
arrived. That's the money. The white man will not give. I remember, like I said, my February year, myself and Mara, we went on a West African trip. We were in Togo. No, we were in Cotonou. There's this big monument statue that know that. Hi, Bunny. There's this big monument in Cotonou. We went there, and there was this place where children, when we're there just chilling, taking picture because like a landmark in the country. These children came to school, like school children came like a mini excursion or something. There were some white people there, like a couple of one or two white people there. Do you know this white man make these children to say I can't remember the word they said, Sha, in French. And he was standing in the middle, and the children were like from year to year. In fact, there was one, the mother was the one that carried the little girl for the white man to hold so that she can snap a picture for her daughter with a white man.
Yikes.
Yeah. You know that I wasn't. I
This is
totally agree. I wasn't saying
2024,
that.
not last year, not last year, 20 February this year. This
No, of
happened.
course. Yeah. Yeah, I was actually
And
saying
so,
that that's what they expect
Yeah,
expect from white
they
people. No,
think.
not that
Yeah,
they
they think.
actually do. You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
They don't. Very often, actually, you'll see that the people, it's even on the internet in America and everything. You'll see that these pygmies, these well, they call them Uncle Toms and stuff. When they actually do go and try to, pander to the white audience by talking badly about other black people and stuff like that, you'll notice that the white people that they are trying to pander towards actually treat them like crap very often.
yeah.
So it's not a matter
yes,
of whatever. So I was just saying that that's what they think they're going to
Think
get,
positive.
not
okay,
Yeah,
that they actually
yeah.
do. Uh,
Absolutely.
okay.
I actually remember my sister had some white friends from the UK who had moved here, and we went to lunch at their house, and they were telling us how their house, like, people are constantly knocking at their gate and to ask for money for a plethora of different things. Whether it's asking for money, oh, this my son is in hospital, I need money. Right, people they don't know, just random people, but because they know that white people live there, they go and knock on their gate. And I was
And I
just
think
like
whiteness is
embarrassed.
equal to being a rich man.
Yeah,
there
always
we go.
people,
That's
no
what it's
matter what,
associated with.
whether
But
they're
it's not.
barefoot, whether it's a boer who is barefoot, a boer that has muddy feet with flip flops and a safari, old tattered safari suit, they will happily think that this. What it is that whiteness is currency, no matter
There we
where.
Yes,
go. It's that
yes,
Whiteness is
idea that is
currency.
associated with it.
And even
fact.
I remember my brother always has this analogy where he's like, it's so crazy because my brother actually said, Zambia needs to do a race report. And we need to actually, because we need to first of all figure out why. I remember looking at an article and it said that Zambia is one of the most racist countries in the world, and I thought, well, Zambians aren't racist, and it took me years to figure out that what they meant was that we are on the receiving end of a significant amount of racism as locals. We get it from, we have like a multi-generational Indian community that's been here for a while, who have pretty much not integrated into Zambian society. They just live by themselves. They make a hell of a lot of money. They've been making money for generations here, but they have not integrated with us at all. And that's fine. I think when you have a strong sense of culture, it's okay to want to align yourself more with your own people. However, when you're multiple generations in and you're still not integrating with the people or treating the people with respect, it kind of you start to really see what is really happening, right? And yeah, so generally I think, I look at how, and those same friends of my sisters, they were like, you know some of the things that we hear other white people say about Zambians, it makes us not want to interact with a lot of the other white people here, because they didn't tell us what was said. But I was like, wow, it's so funny because ordinarily white people stick together and they will not G on each other. That, like, usually they'll turn a blind eye, even if they don't agree, they'll kind of distance themselves and just not say anything, but they'll never take it upon themselves to actually say, yo, those other white people are talking shit about you unless you hear it, right? But they were
Yeah,
literally like, it's such a tough position for us to be in, especially because they had eventually even adopted a little Zambian girl. And, I'm sure having that experience of even adopting a Zambian girl must have opened their eyes up tenfold, because it's like now you're really getting to see, as I would like to think as a parent, you kind of get to see the world through your child's eyes. And so to see as a white person the world through your black child's eyes must have been quite an eye opener for them. But yeah, so it's like, I look at the way that we're treated, and a lot of the time it's it's because of this passivity that we have. And my mom always jokes, she's like, I can't even imagine a white person calling a Zambian the N-word. They'll probably just fold their arms and be like, ha, look, they just called me the N-word. Like just this passivity that we have towards it. And I think for me, I was quite fortunate because my mom grew up under colonial rule. My mom was born when Zambia was still under colonial. Both my parents were born under colonial rule in Zambia. And my mom went to a missionary school. And one of her very first experiences of racism was one of the missionaries, his wife. She used to always bring them into the house, and she was so nice, and she would give them sweets and stuff. And there was one day when my mom found a letter. There was like a letter on the table, and my mom read the letter, and it was by the same missionary's wife. And she said, "Oh, I'm in Africa, and the children, they stink, and they're always coming into the house, and they stink." And my mom was like, at that moment, she was so stunned because the juxtaposition between how nice the woman was to them and she would give them sweets to what she was writing about them in this letter to somebody who was in the UK, and literally just like slandering the hell out of small kids. And I think that experience is why my mom is so clued in and why I've been so plugged into how we are treated, especially here. And I can only imagine how much more intense it is in South Africa. I don't think I could cope with that, I'll be honest with you, because bullies are a different brand of racism.
Do you guys realize that the name Nigeria, that everybody, like a few months ago, our president chose to change the national item that was written by Nigeria for Nigeria during the independence, 3 years after independence. Do you know the name Nigeria actually means the N-word area?
Yeah, as well as Niger as well. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I thought that was Niger. So even Nigeria.
Yeah, you see a lot of these words, they come from the Negro idea.
And our president came to power, rather than him trying to change the name, he changed the national item to the national anthem that the British left us with.
Oh wow, that's
So
he
today,
doubled down a lot there.
whenever you call a Nigerian and say, "Oh, a Nigerian," that's what you are saying. The N
pretty much.
area, yes.
The reality is that, like you were saying at the beginning of the stream, that our leaders, our African leaders, are really not looking for our best interests at all. They are seeking to enrich themselves. Yeah, they seek to enrich themselves, and a lot of them have been placed there because it is a bit dangerous as well. I can speak for my own country anyway. The entourage. Even if you get rid of, even if you have one president who really wants to do well, the entourage can be very easily corrupted. And we saw that with one of our presidents who did get assassinated. These are facts that, are very difficult to show on paper. But the fact is that when he actually tried to do good things for the country, they just got members of his own entourage and people who were around him to get rid of him. It's an entire systematic problem that we have here where, and I was actually going to,
Even you, sorry, I just want to say, even you, I noticed you create a kind of pro-black type of content. I've been there. Just be careful. Be very careful. I've been there. They almost took down my channel. Like when you come, especially when you're trying to educate Black people, Africans about some of these things, they are going to come for you.
Oh, you mean like the type of content I create?
Yeah.
Yes. They're going to try to take down your channel.
I mean, I'm aware.
No, just be, because it may become very physical. You don't know. For me, when it got to that point, because whether you like it or not, there's a lot of information that you don't like. Here on my channel, I try not to talk about things like this, but I'm very passionate about it. And whenever I'm sucked in, I can suck myself out of it. And when I realized that these people, they don't want this type of information, this type of conversation, because we're passing information across, and the more information we get across ourselves, the stronger we become, and the more knowledgeable we are. Because one thing they did to us African and especially Black people is to hide a lot of the things they do in documentation, in history, My mother used to say something that said, if you want to deceive a black man, just put it in black and white. The black man will not read it.
Book.
But
Yeah.
thank God for social media now. You don't have to read it, you just have to listen.
Yeah.
And these
You know,
people
the
don't
thing ab-
like it because they know
yeah.
it's a threat to whatever. I remember I did the NSAT, I even did the Congo thing. I think that was when I started getting hits. I had to take down some videos. I started getting hits.
Can you
YouTube
explain
just
how you got
demonetized
the
me for
heat?
not just doing.
Oh, you
My
mean they
channel got
demonetized you and
strike.
stuff?
Yes, I was demonetized for months. My channel got flagged. So you know YouTube, once you get your 3 strikes, you are out. My channel got flagged. They said I'm spreading hate. I still have
Oh,
that email. They said I was spreading
Yeah.
hate. My channel was reported multiple times. So, and that was where I was just like, what's the next thing I'm very passionate about is women and everything. And I just eventually went off it because
Yeah.
it was getting out. I just needed one more strike to get off the platform.
Yeah. You know, the
But this
thing
is
is
something
that
that
I
I've been doing for
definitely,
over 8 years. So just be very careful.
yeah, the thing is, I definitely sympathize with you, especially the fact that you got strikes. That is pretty intense because, you know, that's determination of your channel if you get a third
Yeah,
strike.
that's serious.
So yeah, so I am not going to I definitely sympathize with you, and you're not going to blame you for anything. It's just that for me, you know, actually, initially, I wanted to go on YouTube to just create my animation series because I create animations. That's what I do, even though that's not my field of study.
I definitely need to check you out. I actually work in
Yeah,
my
actually.
full-time job now is animation. I'm a
Oh,
producer for an educational company. We mainly do animation, so I would
that's
definitely want
awesome
to check it
because
out.
yeah, that's awesome.
You guys
I'm
should
actually
look up
creating an
next.
animation. I'm actually creating an animation. Yeah, I'm actually creating an animation for my country so that people can kind of. But yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. But that's what I wanted to do because it's something that first of all I enjoy. It makes me happy, and it's also very neutral. It doesn't hurt anybody. It's not political either. When I
Yeah.
started doing this, but when I actually started doing this, started my channels and stuff in 2021, it was because of it was actually okay. Just a little short history. During that time, there were a whole lot of white South Africans here in South Africa who were spreading a whole lot of misinformation about South Africa, especially to the United States. Especially because during Trump's administration, I don't know if you remember, Trump put out a tweet so acknowledging and encouraging, spreading the idea that they were committing a genocide against white people here in South Africa. This idea, yeah, this narrative started getting so
I
popular
remember that.
that people, yeah, exactly. This
I
narrative
did
became
that
so popular
content.
that people, yeah, that people started actually believing it in the United States. And the problem is that South Africans here, a lot of them did not even know that this was going on. I did not see any South African creators countering this or talking about it. It seemed like they may not just not have been aware or that this was happening. But I saw these channels. So I literally couldn't stand it anymore. I decided to take it upon myself to start making channels, to start making videos, to actually speak up against this before, you know, people will just start taking it as a fact. From then, I started, you know, my channel kind of grew a bit, and I started making more videos regarding these kind of issues that we, especially in Africa, as Africans face. The thing about it is that it's not easy. I definitely understand that because people will try to flag the channel, they will report you, they will do all of that stuff. But as much as I really would rather do my animations and enjoy myself, if I also, you know, decided to give up and not talk about these things, we lose. That is the only way that we get out of this is either we lose or we accept to be talked about in terrible ways. But I believe that we need to defend ourselves. I think that we need to educate people in the diaspora, the African diaspora, within the continent especially. Actually, I think that people in the diaspora tend to know more about how rough it is than people in the continent itself. Um, if we people need to do this, and it only starts with one person. There have been experiments, even just normal experiments that are social experiments that have been done that people they have basically one experiment was that you have a room full of people who are all giving the wrong answer. I made a video about this. They all give the wrong answer to a question that is asked, right? But they're all part of the experiment. One person who is not
Yeah.
who is being experimented on, you know, he knows that the answer is wrong, but most of the time he will just say repeat the wrong answer because he's afraid of other people you know, the judgments of other people. But they saw
Yeah.
that if one person, just one person stands up and says that, no, this is wrong and everything, it encourages everybody else to also start speaking up against it as well. So the thing is that it's not easy and everything, but if we form a network and if we have more and more people coming up discussing these things, you will see that it will become more normalized to be able to do this. And also we can back each other up and defend each other if they try to take us down. So I don't think that we should stand still, excuse me. And another thing I wanted to say about that is that just to before I forget what the prod was saying, especially with black and white treatment here, even here in South Africa. Trust me, it's 100% true. One of the things that is also associated a lot with Africans and not with white people, which to me annoys me a lot because I grew up in a very predominantly white area, but well, that's one thing, is the whole crime thing. So basically, they associate crime with Africans, or and criminality and stuff. But the annoying thing for me is that I have witnessed so many white people commit crimes, like petty crimes, like stealing from a shop and stuff like that, or admitting that they've done crimes, that I don't understand it, because most of the time, even the black security guards would rather pat me down and everything and let the white guy go through. And that's literally how they managed to steal. Just the other day, I was at the petrol station, or the garage, as they call it over here. And what's it? I saw three, I saw three white folk get in and everything, and one of them put a pack in their bag. I did report it to the station guys afterwards, because I'm not gonna get into a fight with a bunch of white folk in the middle of the night, especially when I was on my way home. I reported it to them, but they decided to do nothing. They were like, I don't know if they believed that. I think that it's very difficult for them to process that. Why would these wealthy looking white people steal and everything? But they do, and that's the thing. So
Even in the
both
US,
of
they
these
do
associations.
that.
Yeah, and I'm like thinking, so that's kind of the thing. And just the other thing that you were saying about education. I was speaking with it to my brother today, and I actually think I'm working on a video, or I already posted a video about this. Here in South Africa, I think that, okay, America was also very bad, where they tried to deprive education from people. But here in South Africa, what people don't realize is just how intensely they made sure that South Africans remained as uneducated as possible. The president for Foot, he's sometimes known as the father of apartheid, right? And he's probably one of the most evil people that I know in South African history. He he came up with legalized the Bantu Education Act. This act was made for the intent purpose to make sure that Africans, or the different South African tribes, only got education in matters relating to making clothes, cultural things, things that were very manual labor, like being a domestic worker and stuff. They made sure they deprived Black South Africans from skills such as mathematics, from skills such as physics, and more high level things. And one of their statements even explicitly said, excuse me, one of Vervoort's statements was that he wanted to make sure that the Black population is more skilled in manual labor, and ensuring that the white population remain in dominant in the realm of physics and mathematics. And till this day, we still have that problem. People like to tease Jacob Zuma, the former president. I know he's very corrupt and stuff, but usually I notice that a lot of South Africans like to make fun of Jacob Zuma, the former president, because of the way that he pronounces numbers. Because he cannot read numbers like 300,000 and whatever, right? The reason for that is because, the reason for that is because if you look at the year, he would have been born and gone to school during a time when this law was 100% in place. All the funding to the African schools went directly, all of the funding went to the white schools, to the point where only about 1 in 8 teachers were actually qualified to teach black students. So there has been a whole lot of history, and we need to actively change it. We cannot just be passive about it.
It's true.
I agree with you 100%. I agree with you. Thank you so much, guys. You guys are amazing. When I come here like this,
Yeah.
every time you are amazing.
So good.
Thank you guys
But
so
I
much.
just wanted to add on to what you just said about the education in particular. Sorry, Destiny. I just wanted to add this because I think the education part that you just spoke about GA, is so on the money. And I think it's because of I don't know at what point, and I think it definitely happened like in Zambia, it happened post independence, where the caliber of the education slowly went on a steady decline. And now it's to the point where the average adult, when I look at my parents, who my parents came from the village, neither one of my parents came from money. My dad was from Namwala. My dad was going to be a kachema, which is our people were herders. We're all about cows. My dad, that's where he was headed. My dad was meant to be a kachema. It's just that he had someone in his family who um, took an interest in making sure he got an education, and that's how he went into the army. And my mom was from the village. My grandfather was well educated, but my parents are from the village, and so but because of the quality of the education that they got, they were both able to excel so much in their lives that they were able to travel the world. My dad was like 21 traveling the world. He went to Sandhurst, which is like one of the most prestigious military academies in the UK. The Royals went there, and this is like literally from Namwala to Sandhurst. And it's like my parents would never have had those opportunities if it wasn't for the education that they were afforded. But when I look at the average person now in Zambia, it's like, you can't see my hand. It's literally like this. There's just nothing. The brain is empty and no insult. It's just on average, I can see how the population operates generally just from interacting with different portions of it. And it's just so bad. And so if you can diminish people to that point where you put them in positions of servitude, you deprive them of adequate education, this is the result. This is the result. We can see the result of all that programming, and that now what is going to happen is we need our leaders to acknowledge that and begin to deprogram that. Because when I look at the UK, you don't have to have a degree to be smart or have a decent job in the UK. You can leave school at 16 with your GCSEs and go and get a job, and you will still end up leading a decent life. You might have a new car every 10 years, and you'll even own a home. But here, that's not going to happen unless you have a master's degree.
But that's just like when we talk about the leaders in Africa. We're going to round up soon. When we talk about the leaders in Africa, they are being planted. It's still systematic.
Yeah.
You see them when African countries are doing elections. You see they have international bodies coming to supervise the election. What for? What do you think that's for? So it's still the leaders who are saying that, oh, stand up for us, or they are just, if you're not going to do what they want, you're out. And a lot of them are just, you know what, let me just collect as much money as I can collect. And when it's my time, let me be going. So it's just, I just feel like we're heading, it's not going to, I feel like, not be swear, they swear for Africa. It's not going to happen in my time. But you see this little type of conversation we keep having among ourselves, it will go a long way in the next 50, 100 years. Because thank God there's internet, these things are being documented. People are seeing the pattern. So eventually, but it's not going to be in our time. So as much everybody do your part, the tax against us as Africa is to be against us. And we should not even come and be against ourselves, because when it comes to the hate we Africans and black we have for ourselves, this do this, why this one, I mean, stupid things. Nigerians are too loud. These people are too. Let's calm down. Because whether we like it or not, the other races are coming for us. They will disrespect us because we are black. Whether you're from Caribbean, or whether you're from US, or whether you're from Africa, whether you're from the UK, you see that disrespect because of your skin color. They don't care. Even the Chinese will disrespect you because of your skin color. So it's not just the white. I keep talking about we are at the bottom of the scheme. We are at the bottom. And the worst part is that black women, I like talking about women a lot, black women, now we did the bottom, now we rest for them. Black women still there. Now we rest bottom. So as much as when there's a lot of negativity coming against us, the odds are against us. We should not come against ourselves. That should be the worst things we should do among ourselves. We should trash it out. Without that, on my channel, I usually beg. We don't have to. We have to disagree. Like it's okay. Being not agreeing on something, that does not mean that the other person is a bad person. And they've planted in us, especially black women, to believe that we're very defensive. If somebody does not agree with us, we're like, it's not. And I know it's coming from a place of trauma where nobody stands for us, nobody supports us, and now we feel like now our voice needs to be heard, so it has to be what we want, and that is it. But no, we should respect each other's belief as black people, especially as black women. Sorry, Angel, I'm talking to black women here. We should respect each other's belief, respect each other's way of life, lifestyle, because you don't even know what the loads that person, the battles that person has fight. Same way, a lot of foreign content creators don't know the battles we are fighting as content creator in Africa. It's fine. We don't have to fight among us, and that's one thing I just want to pass on before I end up this live. That as black people, as black women, we should not, we should stop the whole um tossing each other and all that. No, we have
Fighting, yeah.
bigger fish to fry. We have bigger fish to fry.
Yeah,
So
I was
let's
just going to say, yeah, sorry, my last thing was just to say that for me though, I see it when it comes to the where we're heading and what we're actually trying to do. I don't actually believe that it cannot be done within our lifetime. I actually believe that believing that it can be done in our lifetime is a start because it has been done for other nations as well. If one of the problems that I also experience with people is that they have such a defeatist mindset, thinking that it's impossible to change these things to the point where it becomes their reality. It's become a self-fulfilling prophecy. I believe that people need to actually realize that it is possible to do so. The avenues and discussing how to do so and everything, that is one thing because there are many problems. But I think that we should move away from the idea of thinking that it cannot be done in our lifetime or that it won't, because if we keep thinking that,
see.
it will never change. Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Sorry, sorry. One of the
Yeah.
reason why I feel why one of the reason why I feel it might not happen in my lifetime is the fact that it is so deep rooted,
Yeah.
so deep rooted
Mhm.
that even your father, if you talk to your father about it, you're like, It's so deep
Yeah.
rooted that to even start, it takes one person at a time, which that's what I believe. If we do it one, if we try to do it forcefully, it's going to cause more problems. Because even the people you're trying to wake up from their slumber, they're not ready to be woken up. So it has to be a
Mm,
gradual process where it's thinking. We keep having conversation like this. People are coming in and having the conversation, and then people are just like, okay, 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 and it's not going to happen
exactly.
in one day. Do you know how many billions Africans we are?
I know, but that's the thing. As long as we continue to do so, but we have to believe
Yeah,
that it can actually happen. By the way, I also wanted to
yeah,
say that it's not just, it's really this whole pandering to especially white people, not just white people in particular. Actually, to be very honest, when I speak about these kind of issues, I tend to focus more on Africans because personally, I don't really care about what white Europeans and other people are doing. I care more, unless they are affecting us, I care more about Africans. But I will say, that the same similar problems that we are facing in Africa, even the inferiority complex, exists elsewhere. In India, for example, I think it's the most colorist place on earth. I made a video about this. You can go and check it out.
yeah.
They also tend to have a very obsession with being white. Asia as well. I worked with a white woman when I was in the States. When she explained to me that when she was in China, Chinese people would literally come to her in public places like restaurants and randomly, without her permission, take pictures of her with her on the side, just to say that, look, 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 I took a picture with a white person. So the
Mm-hmm.
thing is that we need to, I'm just saying that it's not unique to us because also if black people start thinking that, there's just something particularly wrong with us and everything, they may think that, it's just our genetics or something that is making us in the position that we are, and that is definitely not true. Learning more about history and stuff, you will see that these things definitely do. But just to close off, I think that, well, for me on my side anyway, just to close, I wanted to say that we do have the means nowadays to reach many people at a very same time. So even if it's not forceful, one thing that we should focus on are especially the next generation. So especially young people, teenagers, and so on, because they are the ones who are going to kind of carry this over. The older people, I think we all know that they are very difficult to convince. The younger people are the ones that we need to focus on, and yeah, and everything that we do, whenever you come across a black person or an African and everything, anything that you do, start a conversation about it. I think that every action will help in one way or another. So just wanted to leave off with that. That's what I do anyway, and I think that it will help.
I agree 100%.
I just think the
Thank
one
you
thing
so
I'll say
much,
is that
I need to go.
but yeah, let's. It's been
I
so
know.
great chatting with all of you.
Yeah.
Right, the chat, yeah, we can do 6 hours before.
I'm gonna put my email in the chat. So
No.
yeah, no, let's get.
The chat, I don't know if it's going to be on the chat.
Yeah, I think it's
Oh
just
my,
us. Like
Let me
people
Oh, just
quickly.
on
the
thing.
one on the
Oh,
on
the
this
last.
particular
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you could also leave a comment in the
community
the,
post.
the community post or when the video is over, in case the live
Yeah.
chat doesn't replay. But Destiny, I think you have to do some setting on your on your side to either show the live chat
Let
after
me.
the video.
Okay, I think this is what I should do. I'm going to put on this, but it's far. This is like the end of the live chat, so.
Yeah. So it might not even come up until somebody scrolls. So I think you should let when the video is over, you can comment on the like a regular
On the
comment.
live, yeah, on the comment section of the live, which
Of the
might
live. Yeah.
which might take a couple of hours though because of the StreamYard I'm using.
Yeah. So then you
Before
could just do the community post.
Yeah, I copied your email though, just in case.
Yeah, no.
And I got it. And
I'll
Destiny,
take a
I sent
screenshot right now.
I sent you a DM on Instagram just so that you can also keep that there. And then because I have an Instagram account, so people can find me there as well. It's just Guardian
Okay.
Angel. Yeah.
Thank you guys. It's always fun. It's almost like don't go.
I know.
It's always fun chatting with you guys. But we do this every Saturday. So next week Saturday, definitely. You guys are welcome. And I want to thank you guys. I do appreciate you guys. The type of conversation we're having here. I feel like these are the type of conversation and community we should build. And I do appreciate you guys. I don't take you guys for granted. You guys know that. Thank you guys so much. Thank everybody that is on the chat, just leaving comments and catching up with the conversation. Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate each and every one of you guys. And you guys know we have banging conversation, yeah.
Oh, it's so great. Love your channel. I'm gonna check out Esther and Angel. I'll definitely check out your channels as well. And Destiny, keep doing what you're doing.
No problem.
Please
It's
do.
GA. Angel sounds like a girl's name.
Is that?
Angel. Is it not my
No,
name? Is it not Angel? I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's Guardian Angel, but it's cool. It's cool.
Guardian
And I'm
Angel.
sorry
I'm
for interrupting.
Angel.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting the ladies' night. I know that
Mommy,
it's
good night.
No, I
Thank
enjoyed
you
you
so
coming
much.
out.
guys. Have a good
Well.
night.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night, guys.
Bye. Saturday. Bye.
Bye.